Ploy, had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better ask about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, host of the showman. Still silly sauce with the show in. Till then, it's half moon open. Sometimes go takes like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a molding. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded again. What is in store? Like under the seat of the driver's side floor, it's Gucci's galore. So many more from 6 in the Mars, never more. Man, if I'm honest, the damage is done. Silly sauce, unlimited funds. Join us on Twitch for unlimited fun. J-Fig and Marcos, you with it or what?
Tobin, who Tobin is.
Oh, thanks, Low Dog. And welcome on in, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Happy Friday, Leroy. Happy Vice Shirt Friday.
Happy Friday. Is it game night?
Game night.
Oh, wait. Marcos, let's be clear about game night. This miserable bastard will be so happy if they win. And it'll be a successful road trip.
Great trip.
Even though less than 24 hours ago, they were epic failures.
You can't hold on to things, dude. Can't hold on to things. Old Tobes, I don't hold a grudge, you know?
What?
I can't
hold a grudge.
Can't leave my hooks into something, you know? I got to let go.
By the way, two things. One, my Skip Bayless rant was on Barrett Sports page.
Was it really?
Oh my God. I damn near felt ashamed. I basically said, Shannon should have went across and choked the crap out of him. I'm like,
I don't think it is a fair shot.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a fair shot.
And two,
still going though. They're still going.
Wait, somebody sent me this, and this is the most incredible thing that I've ever heard a player say. Right? So they were asking. They were talking to. Hold on, let me get it. They were talking to. Jadeveon Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And asking him about whether he would be back with Cleveland. Here's what his response was. 95% sure I won't be back. I just feel like I need to be around somebody dumb enough to overpay for my services.
The honesty.
Who says that? I'm like, what is the world coming to? Oh.
Yeah. Well, I respect the honesty from them, so good for them.
I'm like, on the chat, somebody said, "I love that guy."
All right, let's get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Oh, sexy. The Heat are back in action tonight. They take on the Phoenix Suns. And this will either make or break the trip. We'll see.
Oh, boy. You are the...
We'll see. Don't know what I'm going to be like.
It's weird, okay, that I try to be the voice of reason. And you're just out there willy-nilly with your feelings up and down and side to side. And you don't ever have big picture in folk, right? You don't ever think big picture.
Oh.
And I wonder if people really understand that, being that now they just reading, I think Shannon should choke Skip Bayless out. It's almost like role reversal.
I mean, you feel how you feel. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know.
So yeah, Heat back in action tonight, 10 o'clock against the Phoenix Suns. So looking forward to that. The Panthers also back in action tonight. They're taking on the Detroit Red Wings at 7 o'clock. So we got a lot of local action. Big news this morning. Multiple reporters saying that for the first time, Damar Hamlin is the breathing tube out. He is not only has the breathing tube out, he is talking, and he has addressed the team via FaceTime.
Cool.
That is that's awesome.
So that means he's out of critical condition if he's talking on his own, breathing on his own. I think that's what that means. Good, man. I mean, can you imagine being a Buffalo Bill and finally seeing your brother say, "Hey guys, I'm okay. Don't get."
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh man, it's like it wasn't. I could just imagine it. It's not even you, but a weight has been lifted off of everybody's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the funniest thing was he couldn't talk because he had a breathing tube. He wrote the doctor a note.
Yeah.
Did we win?
Did we win?
Like he was saying, oh my goodness. I'm like,
He goes, yeah, well, no, Damar, we didn't win, but let me tell you about our new playoff scenarios. Let me run it down for you.
No, he said, no, they replied, you won. You won life.
Yeah.
Like, they're just
True.
like, "Whoo, I'm a champion." Like, yeah, man. Like you I think we take things like that for granted. Right?
Just being alive, yeah.
Just being alive. Like being able to get up the next day. We just make assumptions about things. And when you see something like that happen, you're like, man, maybe I ought to like be grateful that I got up this morning. So
It's
good for
nuts.
him, man.
It's
Good
nuts,
for
man.
him.
It's awesome to see.
How
I can't imagine how the emotional lift that
right
room must have had.
exactly.
Hearing from him, I can-
How about his they were trying to raise 2,500
I
for
know.
toys and I had 7 million.
I want to know what that what is the react? I don't know when you drop that news on
He
him.
doesn't know yet.
That's amazing.
They say when he finds out, dude, you think grown men cried about you? I can't imagine how overwhelmed he would be just to know that people all over the country were really genuinely concerned about his health. Yeah, I mean it's an unfortunate situation, but it feels good as a damn human with all that's going on in the world to see random people doing good things and really
Absolutely.
genuinely care about another human being. Like somebody should listen. Bills, Bengals, fans all across the country, feel free to spread that to some of our jackasses.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So amazing news again.
Yeah.
If you guys just tuning in, Damar Hamlin, breathing tube is out. He is speaking. He has addressed his teammates. Really, really awesome news. So that is great to hear as we're getting that this hour.
Loud and how crazy do you think that stadium is going to be on Sunday? I'm telling you right now, I don't care who they playing.
Playing the Patriots.
They're playing the Patriots. They don't have a chance. No chance.
I think you're right about that. Hopefully.
No chance.
I think you're right about that. Which,
what?
Which, by the way, good for us.
Yeah, we need that.
Good for us.
We
like,
absolutely need
listen, don't lose.
my
Oh,
God.
my goodness.
And I'm not even meaning that as like my proclamation of don't lose, although I will get to my proclamation of don't lose. I'm just saying, like you're getting a charged up Bills team that's gonna go right through McCorkle like a buzzsaw.
Don't lose.
Yeah. Well, that was 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
He's done nothing.
He's
but
done nothing
lose
but
since.
lose since he gave us those words of wisdom. That being said, we'll get into a little bit coaching, some fodder out there regarding his future. And sorry for the quick segment, everybody. It started 10:06 today. Jesus. Can't time out those recorded interviews a little bit better? Anyway, we'll take a break. More Tobin and Leroy. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Twitch. We're streaming live on the Odyssey app. And we take you up until 2 o'clock. We'll have some fun here on a Friday. Back after this. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Some news just coming across the wire. Now, this was a lot of people speculated this was coming for a couple of reasons. One, because yesterday, Mike White went from full practice to limited practice yesterday. So that was a little bit off-putting for the Jets. And then all of a sudden, the line swung from the Dolphins being dogs to favorites. And that is because starting on Sunday for the New York Jets, Joe Flacco.
Oh! Hey,
Flacco is back.
Hey, we can have a neck off and just start glenning.
It is Joe Flacco versus Skylar. I assume Skylar Thompson, because we don't even know that yet officially, but it seems like it's going to be Skylar Thompson. Zach Wilson is the backup this week.
Wow. Would we almost prefer Zach Wilson, or like I don't know how I feel, to be honest.
I don't know. You got a guy with more experience for sure, but I mean, it's Joe Flacco.
It's Joe Flacco.
It's Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't know. The old Joe Flacco with maybe they bring in Kiko Alonso to do the coin toss.
No.
You know, bring him back. Kiko's got to be hanging around here somewhere at like an MMA gym or something, right?
He's the last guy before Phillips that I saw tackle like the Titanic.
It was such a damages done move by Kiko Alonso.
So stupid, right? Like you get there, you're trying so hard not to hit a guy.
Yeah. Well, Kiko Alonso, I mean, you know, a lot of hits that Kiko Alonso. So, there you go. Joe Flacco starting this weekend against the Miami Dolphins, presumably against Skylar Thompson, although I believe we will hear from Mike McDaniel later this morning and get official word on that. But he has been doing things. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's got the finger. They have a giraffe there in case of emergency.
You know what sucks? The thing that sucks about this weekend is Kansas City plays on Saturday.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like the Saturday games the final weekend. I don't like that
here's the deal though. That I think regardless of what happens with Kansas City, I think the players, the coaches, and the city of Buffalo need football to get them back, on track.
Yeah,
and
sure.
So from that standpoint, I wonder when they're gonna bring Damar back home. He's been there all week.
I don't know. I don't know what the what the best protocol for that is.
I don't know. I got to tell you, if he's just breathing on his own, I would hate to put him up there in that thin air in a plane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm no doctor. Just sounds a little. I don't know. Hang out a couple of more days.
It's just great to hear that the first steps of it is
him talking and him talking to his team. And,
yeah, apparently, like the reports are saying, like the room was going crazy when it happened. So that's really really cool to see.
I wonder if he surprised them.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. Today's. I'm sure there's video of it. Those NFL teams.
We got an update We got an update in Cincinnati, and then Damar just shows up on the screen. Oh my goodness. That room probably went bat bleep crazy. Good for them, man. Good for Damar. His mom has to be a nervous wreck. His family, just to see him progressing. That's good. Happy for him.
So let's get to this. So there's this kind of picked up over the blogs. It got a little bit of traction on Twitter. Then like Barstool posted it. And that was a blurb from Armando Salguero, who now writes for Outkick, but of course was a Miami Dolphins columnist for 25 years. What was it? Like Armando has on the job forever.
Last thing I remember him saying.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing we remember him saying was Justin Herbert reminded him of Ryan Tannehill, and I believe we had him on before the draft, and he said if there was one guy you couldn't see, who would it be? And he told us Jalen Waddle. I ended up taking Jalen Waddle because you had Slim Reaper, and you had who the hell's that tight end who doesn't do anything for the Falcons?
Pitts.
Yeah, I had him in fantasy this year. He didn't do squat. No, he did not. But I gave up in fantasy like week 4. What do we have to pay for that?
I don't know.
When's the collector coming for that?
Whoever wins, they'll let you know.
I mailed it in.
Yeah,
I mailed it in.
You mailed it in.
I mailed it in.
Guys, can I say the bottom?
I mailed it in when I missed a bye week and had 4 players playing. I'm like, what?
But that being said, like, look, Armando's obviously got a pulse of the organization. You know, he's been covering the team for a long time, knows a lot of people around the organization, things like that. So do with this what you will. But he did an article for Outkick, and it said NFL hot seat, coach, GM, quarterback changes possible with Cardinals, Dolphins, Commanders, Jets, Bucks, and more. And under the Dolphins category, this is what he had to say. If they win their season finale and sneak into the playoffs, owner Stephen Ross might look the other way with those 5 consecutive December, January losses because it'll feel more like a skid than a collapse. But if the Dolphins go from 8-3 to 8-9 and not in the playoffs, everybody's job is at risk.
Nope. That's a lie.
What?
He's wrong. He's wrong.
General manager Chris Greer made a dozen bold moves in 2022, taking a step backwards and out of the playoffs was nowhere near what Ross expected. The quarterback Greer drafted is not durable. Bradley Chubb, whom Greer added in the trade, has not delivered. And many of the first-round picks that Greer had led to one question: where's the playoffs? First-year coach Mike McDaniel, great guy, but what happened to rallying the team late in the year? Stop the bleeding. What makes him a better choice than making another run at Sean Payton? If McDaniel survives, there's no guarantee for defense coordinator Josh Boyer, according to a club source. Finally, the Dolphins have a decision to make on Tua Tagovailoa. Are they willing to run it back with him as the starter when he's unable to stay healthy? And let's just say Aaron Rodgers really meant what he said 2 weeks ago about playing in Miami. If that's serious, Ross will be intrigued. Here's the one thing with this column. I saw this Aaron Rodgers clip that went semi-viral with Dolph fans because they thought that in the clip he said because it does kind of, he talks fast and it sounds like he says, I'd love to play for. He didn't say that. He said, we took on a team that had a lot to play for. Not that I love to play for, but like some Dolphin fans were thinking that he said it so fast. They thought, did I just hear Aaron Rodgers say that I'd love to hear him play for the Dolphins? He would never say that. Why would he say that? Why would you think he said that?
I know.
Why would they do that?
Why would he say, he wouldn't say that.
Right.
He said that they had a lot to play for. But anyway, getting back to it. So you say lie. No shot that Mike McDaniel gets fired. No shot Chris Greer gets fired?
No.
Because he's been around forever?
No, it's not that. It's like, contrary to popular belief, you can make the right move and it not work out. And we tend to look at all these situations and hang playoffs or bust as success or failure. And I would say, if there's any question that I'll give him, right, it's on Tua and his durability. But other than that, like, they won some games. They won a lot of games early, but they've been banged up all year, right? Like the way that defense has held it together, and with what Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins have done up front, it's amazing. And I just want to see them have the team with the support in the secondary that they thought that they would have.
Mm-hmm.
And then go from there. It's hard to not look at the results and not to look at and understand the circumstances. And you get anxious. You get antsy.
I think that I do believe that if anybody's going to get fired, it's going to be Josh Boyer. Because if they do lose, they don't make the playoffs, there will certainly be a fall guy. And the whole and I don't even know if I necessarily disagree with it. Their defensive numbers have not been good this year. even though in the losing streak, I don't think that they carry the lion's share of the blame, they also didn't come through in late game situations, allow 1-score losses. And Josh Boyer wasn't Mike McDaniel's hire. Like, he didn't hire him. They just held him over from Flores, which is kind of a weird thing. And the whole point of it was, we're just going to have the same defense. Now, to Boyer's defense, yes, there have been injuries,
you
but
got to consider it, even though I agree 100% what you're saying, because when it gets down to it, when they have that end of the year conversation, here's what's going to happen. What do you want to do defensively? I want to get somebody in here from San Francisco that, I know can run a great defensive
plan.
Right.
And
that's going to be the conversation. And what it does is all right, we'll give you a year with your guy. When the fact of the matter is that the biggest concern is keeping Tua healthy and not have him,
for sure,
fall on the back of his head every other play.
And look, I think I'd like to see what a full, like, when you don't have your starting quarterback for a quarter of the season, I would like to see. And maybe you could say, hey, Tobin, you can't count on that. But ideally, I'd like to see, what does a full season of Tua and Mike McDaniel look like? What does this end up? Because it felt like it was going really great. It felt like it was.
And
the one thing I can't rule out, though, why I can't completely rule out Armando's thought or just throwing this out there, is this wasn't Stephen Ross's first choice. He wanted Sean Payton and Tom Brady. Mike McDaniel was a backup plan, and he just fired a coach with a winning record. So I don't know what he's going to do. I can't rule it out.
Was it different reasons, though? Different reasons?
Certainly.
But here.
But Leroy, shocking nonetheless.
Right.
We were all shocked that day.
Yes, we were. But I would say this, is that Mike McDaniel and his personality would allow you to be more patient with him than you were with Brian Flores, because Brian Flores was deemed as like a hard ass, right? And so from that standpoint, I always look at coaches and how they go about things, and if everybody seems to like them, it usually gives you an additional year, another couple of years, right? You know who's one of the nicest guys, and I've told you this over and over again, one of my favorite coaches, Marvin Lewis. Right? Like, he's like one of the nicest dudes. Denny was like that. Denny didn't, even though he got upset at times, he wasn't that guy that, was going to pull a Bill Belichick. Right? And look at Bill Belichick in Cleveland. Like, coaches don't get fired from teams and go on to have the success that Bill Belichick has had. It doesn't happen. Usually that guy ends up like Andy Reid, 10, 15 years with one franchise. But nobody really liked Bill Belichick. Then he started winning, and all the same things became cute and funny.
I still don't know.
You don't have to like him, but you got to respect his game, right? You don't have to like him. You got to respect what the man has done as a football coach. Even if you don't like him, that's fine.
We'll take a quick break. 15 minutes of heat coming on up. Before the end of this hour, I want to get this out early because, it is weekend plans. I want people to have their weekend plans. Before the end of this hour, we will give away a pair of Heat and Nets tickets for Sunday night, 6 Sunday. What do you consider 6 p.m.? 6? You consider that night or afternoon? What do you consider that?
Early evening.
Put Heat versus Nets.
If you look into a restaurant and there's number old people eating in it, that's early evening.
We will give that away coming up before
young whippersnappers get into the restaurant. That's considered night.
I have an idea. All right.
Yeah.
I like to call this for 15 minutes of heat. Hear me out. That's next.
Oh no.
Broward Health, celebrating 85 years of service to our community. Then, now, forever. Broward Health.
All right, 15 minutes of heat here for you on 560 WQAM. Heat back on the hardwood tonight, taking on the Phoenix Suns as they wrap up their 5-game road trip. They are currently 2-2 on this trip. They lost the first one to Denver, very close game. They won the next 2, and then all hell broke loose against the Lakers. I don't really want to talk about it anymore.
Thank you.
Which I think the audience and you are all happy about.
Really all glad.
I mean, what did I spend yesterday? I would say we do, 12 segments a show?
Yeah.
So what would you say? I did like 9 yesterday on the Heat.
That was the number I was
9 to. That's fair. That's fair.
I think you opened up hour 2 with losing to the Lakers.
Yeah, that's fair. I won't talk about it anymore.
Thank you.
Unless they lose this next game.
Yeah.
But you guys won't have to deal with it because then Sunday they'll have the Nets. They're going to win that Nets game. So
sure.
I'm all good. But I got an idea. Okay, so something upset me yesterday. Hear me out on this. And by the way, hear me out. Couple things. Coming up next hour, our guy Seth Levitt normally joins us on Tuesday. He's going to join us next hour. We're going to talk a little Dolphins with Seth. That's our guy. So we'll talk to him in hour 2. We'll tickle Leroy's fancy. Before the end of this hour, I'm going to give away Heat versus Nets tickets. Okay?
Nice.
All right? And also, coming up in today's show, I'm very excited about this. Jaron, Boots, Ennis going to join the show. I'm telling you, there's a chance this guy's the best pound-for-pound boxer on the planet in 1 to 2 years. He's really good. And everybody in the welterweight division right now, they talk about Errol Spence. They talk about Terrence Crawford. Best believe you guys should be talking about Boots Ennis. This guy's good. All right. And he's on the pay-per-view this week for Javante. Showdown's got a monster pay-per-view coming up. Javante Davis is fighting. Boots Ennis, Demetrius Andrade, monster card. So we're going to talk to him. Very excited about it. And, we love talking to the fighters on the show. So that being said, let me get to my idea. Hear me out on this. So hear me out. I was very upset yesterday about the All-Star returns. And it doesn't really I'm not upset about snubbery. I think this is a year where there's a lot of good players. And I am of the belief that, and because I want to be true to this, I don't want to sound like a phony. I thought last year that he, only getting 1 All-Star was bull bleep. They were the number 1 seed all year. And they got 1 representative, and it was the guy who didn't even want to go in Jimmy Butler. And I thought that was crap. I thought that the Heat deserved a lot more honors last year for what they got.
I'm with you so far. I'm with you so far.
It's not really a question of snubbery because I feel like this guy's going to make the All-Star team. If anybody from the Heat makes the team, I think it's going to be Bam. But to see that Bam Adebayo didn't even crack the top 10 in voting, I really found that embarrassing from Heat Nation. From Heat Nation, from the nation, but also that to see that the Nets rallied around giving Nick Claxton more votes than Bam, that was unsettling for me. I didn't like that. Because first of all, who is the Nets fan base? Like every time the Heat go there, that turns into the Heat's house. They're chanting, "Let's go Heat." Every time I go around the country and, outside of like the traditional markets of like Philly, Boston, everywhere else, you got Heat Nation all over the place. They start "Let's go Heat" chants. Atlanta, LA, Washington, Brooklyn,
Orlando.
Didn't even mention that. Didn't even consider that.
Hey, what are you doing?
Like a spring training facility for the Heat. Just, Orlando. And to see that Bam, one of the best players in the league, which is what he is. Do you know that Bam Adebayo? How about this stat, Leroy? Do you know he scored 30 points in 3 straight games? Do you know that hasn't been done since 2014 with the Heat? That LeBron James, that blew my mind. I'm like, you're telling me? Not Dwayne Wade after LeBron, not Chris Bosh, Goran even.
Jimmy?
No one got on. No, Jimmy. No one has scored since LeBron 3 straight games of 30 points, which is a little surprising, kind of sad also. But it especially with everybody scoring like a gazillion points this year.
Oh my goodness.
But
scoring is willy-nilly.
All I'm saying is, Heat Nation, you got to show this guy some damn respect, okay? He needs to be shown some damn. You cannot be allowing. It is unbecoming for Nick Claxton to be leading Bam Adebayo in All-Star votes. I'm sorry.
That is a bit ridiculous.
Bam Adebayo not having 200,000 votes. I'm not saying 2 million, but telling me this guy? Where's he at? Is he at 100? Like, where the hell was he? Nick Claxton had like 110,000. How many did Bam have? So here's what we're starting. We're starting a BAMpaign. Okay? Whoa! The BAMpaign is on, dude. All right? We're going to get Bam Adebayo the all-star respect he deserves. And what I want is for Chris Bosh to make his return. Now, here's what's going to happen. I don't know if you guys remember this. Maybe some of you are too young. But when Chris Bosh was with the Toronto Raptors, he had a very infamous all-star game commercial. J-Fig, can you roll this for us here for our audience who don't remember Chris Bosh?
Attention. This is Chris Bosh here, and I'm offering you Boxing Day special, post-Christmas special, a New Year special. Why don't you bring the 2008 year in right? Come on and vote for me. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you go get an all-star ballot right now and punch in my name. That's right. Remember, it's Chris Bosh. Best thing about it is, you think it's $20? No, sir. You think it's $10? No, ma'am. Even $5? It is free. That is right. It is free. We don't want your money here. We just want your vote. Filling out these ballots is easy as cow tipping. Ain't that right, Bubba? That's right. Hurry up, folks, because time is almost up and these things are moving fast. Make sure you get one of these ballots. Punch in my name, Chris Bosh. Or you can go to NBA.com. Hey, even better yet, you can go to my website, chris-bosh.com, and vote for me today. I'll see you in New Orleans.
Here's what we need, okay?
Hey.
I am calling
By
upon
the way, hilarious.
An all-timer.
It's hard for a 7-footer to be country.
Yep, well, Texas. Here's what I need.
Except for, what is it, Malone? Carl Malone.
We know that Chris Bosh, Bam Adebayo, they're tight. Love each other. I am calling upon Chris Bosh to recreate this commercial for Bam Adebayo. Let's get it going, CB. The BAMpaign needs you behind it, all right? Because I don't know if Bam can pull off that commercial, but I know Chris Bosh can. He brings Bam Adebayo onto the lot to start selling used cars for all-star votes, which, by the way, I got to say, I missed the paper ballots. Does anybody else miss the paper ballots when it comes to all-star games?
Well, I didn't even know
Do they still do those?
I don't know.
At the arena? I don't think
Nobody
they do.
wants to count all those ballots.
Who's counting the ballots?
What are you talking about?
Too many
You
hanging
know what?
chads.
You know what? Let's go back to paper ballots, and we're going to have you count them.
I'm telling you right
You
now.
stop after 10 and just guess.
I am asking Chris Bosh to lead this BAMpaign to
We can
get
do one.
Bam
You
Adebayo
want us to do one?
more all-star votes.
We can do one.
Hmm?
You want to do one? We can do one.
You want to sell the used cars?
Yeah. Let's do one.
right, well,
we
we-
can do one.
I don't know if people are going to listen to us. I feel like they're going to listen to Chris Bosh.
I mean,
Leroy, let's do it.
yeah, you play enough. You put it in enough places, they'll get it. Come on, man. Well, what are you doing?
But
Like
first,
I
Chris
thought Bam
Bosh.
was your guy.
We need Chris Bosh.
But first, I want to get Chris Bosh.
All right.
Do you have his number?
No, but I mean, he follows me on Twitter. I figure I just add him.
Step one.
I figure if I ask pretty please.
Yeah, for sure. How can he say no?
I mean, it worked for the Dwayne Wade Boulevard thing. You mean
Mm.
people don't just say yes all the time to things?
Yes.
Well, unless you're a politician and you say yes, but it don't matter anyway.
That's right. Well, we'll get it. Well, if you're
here's what-
Mayor Suarez and you're like, oh yeah, Dwayne Wade Boulevard, we'll get to it.
Hey, let's just review what happened here. So we had a push, mostly Tobin. I'm on his coattails on this one. For Dwayne Wade Boulevard. We had the mayor in right before the COVID outbreak. We all thought maybe we got it, but we didn't. But we did get Dwayne Wade Boulevard. And I ain't holding the fact that I ain't getting no wine, but we got Dwayne Wade Boulevard.
Yeah,
Okay. It took forever and we still haven't had the ceremony. Now, let's travel a little west to a place I like to call Dallas, where in a court in 2 weeks, and in a couple of years, he got a street, a parade, and a statue.
Beautiful statue.
Beautiful statue.
I'm very
With
mad
the
about it.
bandit.
I know.
one-legged-
I'm very jealous of what they've done for
Right.
Dirk and compared to what we've done for Dwayne Wade.
Right.
It's garbage.
And what have we done for D Wade?
I'm telling you right now, what I want is 3 statues for D Wade. That's the only way we top it. Yeah, 3 for number 3.
No.
No.
I'm telling you.
Hmm?
All you need. This is my house, standing on the table.
Look, I don't disagree with you.
At the entrance to whatever is going to be called.
Look, I don't disagree with you. I want that statue, but here's the thing. They already beat it to us, so we got to overdo it. That's how it works down here.
How much is a statue?
I don't know.
$1 million.
No.
Mickey has $1 million.
It's at least $100,000.
Oh, look at that.
You
That's
got to know.
easy.
Yeah, there's statues in Michigan. There's a Tom Brady statue. Ask your boy. Ask Ward. How much does that Tom Brady
Come
statue
on,
cost?
man. It can't be that expensive. That's a drop in the bucket for them.
They have a statue with Harbaugh with khakis.
No. No.
We'll take a quick break. Hour Tua coming up next. Hey, it's me again. I'm just waiting because I need Jennifer to bring us back on video. Can you bring me back on video? Ah, there we go. All right. Right now, I'm giving away our last pair of Heat Nets tickets. I'm going to give it to caller number. Let's go 10. Caller number 10 gets themselves a pair of tickets to Heat versus Nets Sunday, 6 p.m. Heat wearing the throwbacks. Very excited about it. If you guys want to go to Heat and Nets at the Heat's house this Sunday, caller 10 right now to 305-567-0560. That's call number 10 to 305-567-0560. Will get themselves a pair of tickets to Heat versus Nets. Marcos with his web fingers standing by to take your calls. Caller number 10 to 305-567-0560. Caller number 10 is going to Heat Nets. Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tunga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Chris Sims can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour two of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2. We're going to talk to Seth Levitt in about 15 minutes. We'll talk some Dolphins with him, Dolphins and Jets. Joe Flacco officially starting for the New York Jets. We all believe Skylar Thompson going to get the start for the Miami Dolphins, as he has been getting the majority of the reps in practice this week. So hell of a matchup there to end the season with everything on the line.
I don't know. Just don't mess it up, Skyler. Buffalo's going to dominate New England. Just do your job, Skyler.
Yep. Please.
Yeah. Are we expecting here? The way I look at this game is I just want Skyler not to throw 2 picks. That's it. He got enough ability where he can make some plays, and he got enough talent on that offense where there's going to be some guys open. Okay? More importantly, you've been running the ball well the last few weeks. You might ought to put emphasis on that too.
I'm with you. It's
and other than that, defensively, get after it. But would Apollo Creed say? There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
That is what he said.
Yes.
Because Rocky, he didn't want to train anymore.
Hey,
Which
by the way, we don't need the backstory.
No. I think it's important.
Because why you gotta bring Rocky into the mix? I would talk about Apollo Creed.
Well, Apollo Creed, but he was screaming to Rocky, "There is no tomorrow."
Yeah, I know.
That's what he was.
Right.
But because Rocky didn't want to train, he wasn't up for it. He had Mickey died. All right, he had PTSD from losing to Clubber Lang, and every time, of course, Apollo brought him to the hood to train, and tried to train him, and Paulie was a little racist, actually a lot racist, and so maybe they don't like you, Paulie. You ever think about that?
Like, you ever watch movies from when we were younger? There is no way that crap will fly today, right? Right?
There's a lot of that movie.
That scene would be excluded from the final cut.
I don't think Paulie makes it in today's Rocky.
No.
I don't think he does. They don't like you. Anyway, he's upset, and Apollo's trying to come on. He's hitting you, and he's just taking it. He's not hitting back. And damn it, man! Come on. Tomorrow, let's do it tomorrow. And of course, Apollo Creed screams it.
You had to bring Rocky into it, huh?
Yeah.
This was Apollo Creed's moment.
It was. I mean, he also had a great final entrance before death.
Oh my goodness. James Brown.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a good way.
If he didn't notice, he was yucking it up. And that Russian, Drago, was not playing. So at what point did he realize, he dancing around, dancing around, dancing around, Then the Russian coach gave the signal.
Yep.
Yikes.
Very yikes. Let's get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Back in action.
I'm getting a truck this weekend. I'm getting a toy truck.
Oh, a toy truck. I was like, didn't you just get a car?
Yeah.
The Heat back in action tonight, 10 o'clock, taking on the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, I
We've
mean,
got-
you might as well just say it.
What? What do you mean?
You know what? You know what?
I don't think you do. I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to push me to.
Don't lose.
Don't lose.
Oh, I mean, like, you know.
No, hey, no, don't you back down now.
What do you mean?
Don't you back. For the last 2 days, you put us through hell.
I don't understand.
Really?
I wanted to talk Heat yesterday, and I'm getting crushed for talking too much Heat. Now I don't want to talk about the Heat, and you guys are telling me, come on, do the thing. You guys don't know what you want from me.
I don't understand.
If they
How
win
you-
the game,
Hey, wait. I don't understand how we live in your world,
Mhm.
but you don't want to go ahead on and admit the world that we living in. You were miserable yesterday.
as I should have been.
Okay. So
Well,
and
I was
then right before we get off air, oh, but if they win tomorrow, well, I'm good.
3-2 is a good road trip. That's a good West Coast trip. You can't deny that. 3-2 is 3-2.
Okay.
Everybody wants to go. If you go,
So,
if you have an
but
above
why,
500,
but why couldn't you say
every
why couldn't you say after the Lakers game that all is not lost? We can still have a winning road trip.
because they could have clinched the winning road trip, and then you could have a gravy trip. You know, you got a house money game tonight if you don't lose that Lakers game, which they did.
So if they had won the first 3 games and lost the last 2,
Still a
would it
good
still
trip.
be
Yeah, still a good trip,
then
but
why don't you wait till the trip's over before you determine how
Well, you-
miserable you are?
you would have left some things on the table.
Oh, left some things on the table.
Left some
That's
things on
what,
the table.
that's what we're going with.
'Cause I'll
now?
be on Heat Weekly tomorrow, so we'll talk about it. I mean, you know,
How are
I'll
you
be
on E Weekly every week?
I don't know. Tommy loves me. Although I will say, hey, Bally, let me ask you this. What's your boy getting on the graphic for Heat Weekly? You tease all these people coming up on Heat Weekly. Never old Tobes. What's up with that? Hear me out.
Because you're there every week.
Nah, what's up with that? How come I never get to be on the
You
graphic?
get interviewed more than the players.
Maybe. I can't help it that I bring the action every time on Heat Weekly.
You know
I
who's
can't
never
help
been
that.
on Heat Weekly?
Who? You?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Is having Hawk on and not you?
Wow.
What's he gonna do? What is he comparing the Heat's lineup to sandwiches? He did. It was riveting. It's amazing. I'll tell Tommy Tag you want in.
No. That's okay.
Oh.
'Cause
So
that's
you just want the invite. You don't really want to go.
Yeah, that's during
I
golf.
got you.
Yeah,
I got
That's
you.
during golf.
I like that. But hey, Bally, when's your boy getting on the graphic? What's up with that? No love for me?
I mean, the only pictures Bally probably has is like you dressed up as an elf,
Possibly.
a
I
dragon.
can get him a headshot. Whatever they need.
Oh man. So
Anyway, so you see that these Bengals, you see Joe Mixon's pissed.
why?
Well, apparently they got these new scenarios that are coming out, new playoff scenarios based on the game being called a no contest.
Yeah.
So apparently there's a scenario where if the Ravens beat the Bengals, they can still end up hosting the first round game, even if they end up with a worse record. So I think the Bengals right now, I think they technically, like, if it were to finish like that, it would be like they would be a half game up on the Ravens, because the Ravens right now are 10-6.
Right.
Bengals 11-5. So one would finish 11-5. The Ravens would finish 11-6. Right.
Right.
So they instead of the Bengals still getting home field, they go to a coin toss apparently.
Oh my God.
So Joe Mixon.
Oh wait. I'm gonna tell you right now. All the football that has been played this year,
Mhm.
with an unfortunate event, better not boil down to a coin toss. That would be ridiculous. I agree with him. I agree with him. Now, I will say this, though. If I were him, I would temper my anger for this reason.
Take care of business first.
There's not many options that can deal with this.
Well,
but there is one. There is one. Win the game. We're not having a conversation.
Yeah,
you should don't ever go into a game thinking about the scenario if you lose.
I think the thing that he's upset about, though, is there is already a rule in place. I saw Florio was on Joe Rose. He's been tweeting about this like crazy. Like, they're having this vote for all these like neutral site games and all these things when like apparently they already have a rule in place from COVID, which is winning percentage.
Right.
So Joe Mixon was saying, he was tweeting out, so we're not following the rules no more. And so he tweets out a picture of the rule book.
Right.
And that they're having like this fast vote to change the rules when they already have a rule. They already have, obviously this is different circumstances, but it's still like they had this in place apparently for COVID because like last year, what if games were going to get canceled? So I'm telling you right now, this is an interesting thing.
It's interesting, but don't ever go into a game because here, if it ends up being a coin toss or whatever scenario it ends up being, right? You can always look at Cincinnati and say you had a choice. You could have won the last game and not worry about it.
Yes, and they would have lost to Baltimore twice this year.
Which you lose twice to Baltimore, and you see what I mean? It's a tough spot to be in. I get what he's saying. I understand what he's saying. But that being said, you are complaining about a scenario that only comes into play if you lose. And most of the players would say, all we got to do is go out and win.
Right.
You see? So that's why it's I get what he's saying, but you're going to have a hard time complaining about a scenario that you have control over.
Oh, man. We'll take a quick break. Talk a little Dolphins. Seth Levitt from the Fish Tank Podcast. That's our guy. We'll talk a little Fins with him. Back with more after this. would you play this?
Benny and the Jets.
Why would we celebrate the Jets? They can go to hell.
Nah. Oh, this is a celebration? I don't know what this song's about. I just know that
Me
line.
neither.
This is early, Elton John.
Yeah, that's before Dua Lipa.
Yeah. Maybe you should do this with Dua Lipa too. You know?
I will.
What?
Suggest it.
Who did we send to the Heat game, by the way, Marcos?
We sent Anthony out of Davie.
All right. Anthony, enjoy Heat Nets.
Oh.
And good for him.
Hey,
Hmm?
my neighbor.
Yeah. He asked if he wanted to go. I said no. Leroy does not want to go to the game.
Let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors, one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. He is the host, one half of the hosts of the Fish Tank podcast. You hear it every week with OJ McDuffie. You hear him on the postgame show with OJ McDuffie. He is Seth Levitt joining us here. What's going on, Seth? How are you, man?
What's happening? Happy New Year, fellas. I feel like it's been
Happy New
forever since we've done this.
I know.
Well, it's
too
good to
long.
see you, man. It's good to see.
It's good to see you guys. And talk to me about these shirts. Was that a planned, coordinated
It
thing?
is.
Like
It's Vice Shirt
Yeah.
Friday. It's
Friday.
a show
Every
tradition.
I wish somebody would have filled me in. I'm a Tuesday guy filling in on Friday and looking a little unprepared.
We did
We
this
only
like way
been doing-
back.
How long have we been doing it? Like a long
Oh, we've been doing like 6 years. We did it when we were doing shows back at the Hard Rock at the Poker Room. We're like, we're gonna wear just really outlandish shirts to the Hard Rock Poker Room.
I think
And,
that I have officially told on myself, haven't I?
Yeah.
By not knowing what to do here on a Friday.
We got it goes way back. We didn't wear them to the ping pong tournaments ever to the Hard Rock. Maybe we should have filled it in. That's so maybe next time around we'll do that.
Sounds good. Sounds
we'll-
good.
we'll
Well, if I'm
spice
ever
that
here
up.
on a Friday again, I will be better prepared.
Okay.
Seth, are you
Leroy's not happy.
give me your nerves level going into this weekend.
Oh man, nerves. Like in some ways, this is kind of everything you want, right? I mean, a game that matters and it means something on a Friday, on the last game of the season. You want to be playing for games that are important, games that are playoff games. But yeah, I mean, after the last 5 weeks, confidence has been shaken. You don't have there's a lot of positions where you're banged up, and certainly there's a little uncertainty at the quarterback position. And even if you knew who was starting, we've yet to play a game where a quarterback other than Tua starts and finishes the game. So there's a lot there that I hate to say nervous. I sure as heck hope the guys aren't nervous, but there are some things that don't necessarily make me think anything is in the bag.
See, Seth, 2 words. Maybe I can change your mind a little bit.
Okay.
And ease some of that nervousness.
Okay.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. I had a feeling those were going to be the 2 words. And look, Joe Flacco, see, here's the thing. And I'm not comparing Joe Flacco to Aaron Rodgers, and maybe to some degree I am here. But when Aaron Rodgers came down, he wasn't having an Aaron Rodgers-like season. But what happens is every now and then guys are reminded that they are who they once were, right? And so we know that Joe Flacco has played on the biggest stage. He's won a Super Bowl. And, I sure hope that those 2 words aren't being whispered in the Dolphins locker room the way they just were into the microphone there, because ultimately the guy's been there and done that, and he can still play ball, but it's not Lamar, it's not like you're playing a Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes or what have you. I get that. He's at a different stage of his career, but it doesn't matter. Every game we've played or we've seen the Dolphins play, there's been some reason why you think that this will be the one that they have the upper hand in, and they haven't put it together. So
Correct.
they just have to, it can't even matter what the Jets throw out there. The Dolphins need to get their stuff together.
Seth, I think part of the thing is that these games have been so close.
Yeah.
And every Dolphins mistake has been so critical, so much more critical than it was earlier in the year. I mean, keep in mind, what was the first half of the first half of the Ravens game, Tua threw 2 picks.
Listen, the Ravens game, they were down, they had to score 4 times in the fourth quarter. So there's no question they were able to overcome things differently.
Oh, that game was the best.
But it's just as the season has gone on, these games have been low scoring.
Yep.
And each of those interceptions have been more critical than they were earlier in the year. And so I don't know. I think tell me what you think of this. I think the make or break player is going to be Raheem Mostert.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, the running game in general, not surprising, Leroy, that you would you would suggest that here.
Backup quarterback, that's what you lean on.
Well, you're exactly right. And I think that you started to see some of that last week as well. And ultimately, the thing that bit you in the behind was the pick six, right? That changed everything. And then you were unable to overcome that. My hope is that there was a glimmer of something really special when Skylar last time started a game against Minnesota. He had the entire week of practice as the starter, and he came down looking like, whoa, did we just uncover the next great thing? And then remember, they had that series where they got the ball, I think, inside the red zone and might have had 3 or 4 penalties in a row. And next thing you know, they had 3rd and 107 yards or whatever it might be. Skylar hurts his finger. Everything falls apart. The rest is history, right? So my hope is that we see a more prepared Skylar Thompson, and that we see a little bit of what we saw there at the beginning of that Minnesota game. But I'm with you. In general, regardless of who's the quarterback, this is a league where at this time of the year, being able to run the football is critically important. We see what has happened when, if Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson are rocking and rolling and those guys are going downhill and chewing up defenses and making these defensive backs start to think twice about coming up there and trying to stick their nose in there, that it does start to shift the game and change the game. And even last week, I was like, okay, look, they're running the ball enough. You're not getting huge plays. You're maybe getting 3.5 yards instead of 5.5 yards, but look at the time of possession. Look at, how many less times you were giving the Patriots offense the football. You were starting to control everything until the big mistake. And so you're right. Turnovers at any time can be detrimental, but certainly this time of the year.
Has there been any part of you, because Leroy came in on Monday and he had finally given in thinking that this team is cursed? Have you found yourself in the long nights, the restless nights after this losing streak, feeling like, is this ever going to happen? Is it ever going to, because this felt so magical, Seth. We all allowed ourselves to believe this was going to be, and maybe it still will be. It's not dead yet, but
it's not one game season, guys.
In the dark football moments, have you thought to yourself, is this ever going to happen? This feels just like they find new ways to just disappoint every single year at the end of the year.
I hate to believe in a curse. I will tell you this, and going back to, and not to be completely shameless here, but going back to an old Fish Tank episode where we had Mercury Morris on, and he told the story of the Root Man and how he basically created a voodoo doll for Don Shula and buried it in his backyard somewhere in Miami. And my stepfather thought for the entirety of his life that if we don't go dig up that doll, the Dolphins will never win another Super Bowl. Needless to say, we've yet to dig this thing up.
So he wants to do a B&E just to get the Dolphins. That could be a movie. Like
absolutely. Or at least Geraldo Rivera and Al Capone's tomb or whatever it might be. But, I hate to believe that they're cursed. I don't want to believe that that's the case. I've heard all of the stories.
Unlucky is the relative of cursed.
Some of it's unlucky. Some of it you bring upon yourself, right, Leroy? I mean, some of it you absolutely do bring upon yourself. And so here, I'm going to go back to what that was all fun, but I'm not wearing the cool shirt today. So I'll try and be a little serious here and say, if you go back to look at how each of these games fell apart, you can really identify. Now, it's something different every time.
Right.
But you can identify where the Miami Dolphins team was either quote unquote the better team on paper or in a position to win games, and then you can find the exact moment where things turned the wrong way that were beyond just unlucky. So whether it was, I never want to say lack of preparation, because I got to believe that Mike McDaniel and the staff has the team prepared, but sometimes there seems to be a lack of focus or a lack of a sense of urgency, or critical players making critical mistakes at the worst times. And you can't have those things. And I don't think that's a curse. I just think guys need to collectively learn how to win. And there's no better time than now when you literally are down to a 1-game season.
Seth, what do we got coming up this week on the Fish Tank podcast?
It's been an interesting couple of weeks. I think the entire league early this week, kind of took a break from pushing out content and for obvious reasons. And but so from a full our full length episode, last week we had Dave Wanstedt. We didn't get a chance to talk about it because you guys were enjoying a well-deserved vacation. But Dave Wanstedt was fabulous. It was a lot of fun on the interview. He basically said, hey, look, I'm not looking for another coaching job, so I'm going to say whatever I want to say. So he was wide open, which was really cool. And we talked about the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game, which unbelievably was 22 years ago. But it was, everybody remembers Coach Wanstedt literally jumping on the back of Lamar Smith in the locker room and celebrating, his 200 plus yards and a 17-yard walk-off run in overtime. So Coach Wanstedt was great. But today, we do our Friday fish bites. And today, OJ and I talk about the fact that this is indeed a one-game season. Juice said the playoffs start now. The playoffs start now because it is. If you lose, you're done. Yes, they need something else to happen to get into the playoffs. But ultimately, you have to win to keep your season going. And that's what playoff football is about.
Before we get you out of here, Seth, because you're right. We didn't, it was such a serious week, understandably so, because of what happened with Damar.
Yep.
Which, if anybody's just tuning in, the great news today is the breathing tube is out. He's spoken to his teammates. So that's just really tremendous for the Buffalo Bills to get that news. But we haven't gotten to laugh a lot. And I actually saw this today on the way in. They do SportsCenter not top 10. And after a 6-game losing streak and all that, we don't really get to talk about the fun stuff of the game.
Five games. Don't count 6, Tobin. Come on, man. You're putting the curse on us.
Did Tyreek Hill leave Durham Smythe hanging, or was that part of the celebration? Because that backflip roundoff where he has the hands up, is Durham Smythe at least, is he giving him the score of 10, or was he looking for a high five and Tyreek Hill just blew right past him?
So that is the magic question. He absolutely blew right past him. It was almost a moment where he thought about high-fiving him. And look, he had just done a flip. Maybe he didn't have his wits about him, but it certainly looked like it was a great diss. But I love that Durham, just hold it up there. Like Michael Jordan on the follow-through. Just hold it up there, Durham, so make it look like it was the 10 or make it look like he left you hanging, whatever it might be. Everything I hear is that Durham Smythe might be one of the nicest guys in that locker room. So clearly it wasn't anything personal. But, man, it is a good laugh.
All right, Seth, have a good weekend, man. Let's hope we are talking about a playoff berth come next week. And everybody go get the Fish Tank podcast and listen to Seth and OJ. Is Travis back this week for the
Travis
post-game?
has been back for a couple of weeks. Yes, he's off of paternity leave or whatever they call it this day and age.
There you go. So you guys can catch them after Dolphins and Jets this week. Of course, you hear that here on 560 WQM. Thank you, Seth. Appreciate the time.
Thanks,
I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
Alrighty.
And, I love the shirts.
We will run down week 18 of the NFL schedule. It's time to tickle Leroy's fancy. Coming up next.
You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo, I'm so fancy.
First things first on the realist. Let's go get our feather dusters and tickle Leroy's fancy. By the way, I've sent out a message to Chris Bosh via the Twitter machine.
Ooh.
Let's see if he says anything. Yeah.
I'll be Bubba.
Retweets a lot. Yeah, I think you being Bubba would be great. But I've said, Dear Chris Bosh, please recreate this video with Bam Adebayo. Get him some damn All-Star votes.
And tell him, send him another message. Big Mike Leroy would be Bubba.
I will follow up with that you volunteered to be Bubba. By the way, I believe it's I saw it Heat versus Haters. Today's 3-for-1 votes day. So if you go to NBA.com and vote, that your votes count triple. So go out there, vote for Bam Adebayo. I voted for Bam, Tyler, and Jimmy. You know what I love about voting for Jimmy? When you type in his name, Dread's picture. Classic. It's the greatest joke in the history of Media Day.
Yeah.
He's just trolling everybody. I saw today ESPN when they were getting ready for Heat and Suns, they just said, no, we're not doing that. They just put up another picture of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I think they put up like an action shot. They're like, we're done with your nonsense, Jimmy. No more Dread silly sauce. Anyway, the BAMpaign is on. We're getting Bam some damn votes. Let's tickle Leroy's fancy, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important that we go over Week 18 of the NFL schedule, Leroy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. Saturday, 4:30, Leroy. The Kansas City Chiefs. 9-point favorites on the road, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep. Got to tickle my fancy because there's a lot of ramifications, things going on that affect the Dolphins. So I will be keeping an eye on this game. I don't know if you
fancy is tickled.
I don't know if you need Kansas City to lose, so Buffalo has a chance to get the number 1 seed, or if you need them to win. In any event, I'm interested.
There you go.
My fancy is tickled.
Then for the South, and me having to answer for crimes, the Tennessee Titans with Josh Dobbs starting.
Who?
Josh Dobbs.
Didn't they just? What happened to Malik Willis?
Oh, he's not starting.
Wow.
They are going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Prime time, 8:15. Jacksonville is a 6.5-point favorite at home. And Trevor Lawrence is the judge, jury, and executioner for one Brendan Tobin to answer for my crimes.
Wait. You should have already answered for him.
No.
Because this season has gone far differently than you projected.
Could end up with a better record than the Dolphins.
And the fact that you won't answer for your crimes is a travesty.
We'll see Monday.
I mean, you could keep saying that, and then you could say, "Oh, we'll see, win a playoff game." Oh,
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do
it
that. I
more.
swear to God, I won't
You
do
are. You always
I won't do that. I won't do that.
Oh my goodness!
I won't do that. They haven't been to the playoffs since 2017, so I'm not going to do that.
Tobin,
yes,
you always do that.
I
You
don't
move
always do
the
that.
bar.
I don't do that, dude. They don't call me the bar mover, okay?
No, they call you wiggle wiggle. Yes, you've said maybe, I might, I could. Like, no, you should have already answered for your crimes.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 1:00 on Sunday. They take on the Atlanta Falcons, Leroy. Atlanta.
Zero interest. They've already won the division, and I could care less about either one of those teams.
Fancy not
tickled.
The Minnesota Vikings, Leroy, take on the Bears.
They've already sold up the division. I don't think they can get the number one seed.
They can't.
So Fancy not tickled. It's meaningless
Fancy
game.
not tickled.
Coming up later, Leroy, the Ravens and the Bengals square off with these confounded rules now. Cincinnati is a 10-point favorite at home.
Wow.
And we don't know about Lamar Jackson. They're very
Secretive.
very secretive, very up in the air.
My fancy is very much tickled. This is
My
for
fancy is
evidently
tickled.
it's for the division. And
Apparently it's for the
yeah,
coin
because
toss.
didn't they already say that Cincinnati had locked up the division and now got to take it back?
Though they did clinch the division. They're just changing the rules.
Right.
They're changing the rules. It's just like, well, they haven't, I should say that. They haven't officially changed the rules. They have to vote to change the rules.
Right. So
I don't know.
pretty funny that he had the rule book. That usually never happens. he came with evidence.
1 o'clock, the Houston Texans. I thought
No. No.
Fancy not tickled.
Stop. I that's why you paused, because you wanted to just move on. Yeah.
I mean, they're playing the Colts. It's
Goodness. Yeah.
The Carolina Panthers, they take on the New Orleans Saints.
Nope. Not
No,
not
fancy
interested.
not tickled.
Fancy not tickled.
The Cleveland Browns, 7-9, taking on the Steelers. Rivalry game. Steelers are 8-8. Of course, Mike Tomlin can once again finish the winning record. This guy is amazing.
That guy's good.
My fancy's tickled. I think
Fancy is tickled.
the Browns aren't going to the playoffs, but you can make Mike Tomlin have his first losing season. That's something you can pull off from that and enjoy your off season, knowing that the Pittsburgh Steelers will be with you.
The New England Patriots go to Buffalo at 1 o'clock to take on the Bills.
Yes, I am interested.
My fancy is tickled.
My fancy is definitely tickled. Just the energy. When you watch sports, you like energy. The energy in that stadium is gonna be unbelievable. And I can't wait to see this game.
Coming up at the 425 slate, we'll get back to you know what coming up. 425, the LA Chargers take on Mr. Unlimited. I think. I don't know. He might be sitting. Who knows?
Fancy is not tickled.
Fancy not tickled.
I think you would have to pay me a fee to watch Denver play offensive football.
Oh man, their coach was one and done. Rats off a ship. 425, Leroy. The New York Football Giants taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, who still have to clinch that 1 seed. Philly is a 2-touchdown favorite at home.
Um.
By the way, Jalen Hurts has been limited in practice this week, but it seems like he's on the mend.
I am interested. I'm interested
fancy
because
is tickled.
you got 3 teams that have already qualified for the playoffs from that division, and we thought that division was going to be caca.
Coming up also at 425, what could be Cliff Kingsbury's last game. The Arizona Cardinals take on the San Francisco 49ers, who still have a chance at the 1 seed with the Eagles' loss.
Don't care.
Wow.
Not
really?
tickled.
Fancy
No.
not tickled.
No.
That's your game.
West Coast game. You know, San Francisco gonna beat the holy hell out of Arizona, and Black Monday could have another victim.
What do we got next? We have the LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks, who currently reside in that final spot. They win a tiebreak over Detroit on head-to-head. Division tiebreak initially used to eliminate Green Bay. Detroit wins the tiebreak over Green Bay based on head-to-head win percentage. So right now it goes Seattle. Detroit and Green Bay are playing that night, so we'll get to that in a second. But Seattle still in the playoff mix, Leroy, taking on Baker Mayfield and them Rams. They're a 6-point favorite.
My fancy's tickled simply
My
because
fancy is tickled.
the Seattle story, if not for Jacksonville, and Jacksonville being in our state, would definitely have more appeal to me. But because they're on the West Coast, but what they've done this year without Mr. Unlimited is pretty incredible, being that you thought, oh, they're just retooling or whatever.
Definitely. Coming up, the Dallas Cowboys take on the Washington Commanders. Dallas still has a chance at that 1 seed also. There's a lot of teams vying for that right now. Yes.
Yeah, my fancy's tickled. I think to see what Dallas can
My
do.
fancy is tickled.
And Washington, who's not been bad this year, they just haven't been really good. But they'll sneak up and beat some teams, and you go, wow. So I don't believe in Dallas. There's a lot of people that do, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Sunday Night Football, Leroy. The Fighting Man Campbells go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field to take on Aaron Rodgers, who did not say he'd love to play in Miami, despite what was written. That's crazy. How do you write that?
Just like, because that's what people do.
Anyway, Aaron Rodgers. Well, listen, it could be Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying it's not Aaron Rodgers' last game at Lambeau. It could be. It could be. But maybe he makes the playoffs, and he was right all along. Anyway, the Lions, Packers, both 8-8. Green Bay's a 4.5-point favorite. Sunday Night Football. Does this tickle your fancy?
Yes, it does. Detroit's another one of those teams
fancy is tickled.
that everybody thought had no chance when the season started. They thought Man Campbell was, a meathead. And look at the way these guys play. First of all, they score a boatload of points. So,
boy, Jared Goff.
Yeah, right. Who knew? Who knew Jared Goff
would
end up being better than Carson Wentz?
Jared Goff doesn't make you answer for your crimes. He just makes you go, who knew?
Right. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it's not like we took a overall negative stance on Jared Goff. It's just the team that won the Super Bowl got rid of him. And so you're like, okay, I guess they saw something. But he's having an incredible year. I want to see Detroit make the playoffs. I would like to see that because
that'd be cool.
All the stuff that people talk about Dan Campbell, if they make the playoffs, you at least have to acknowledge he's a good football coach, even with all his other antics.
You think he's gonna cry? I think he's gonna. If he gets the Lions to the playoffs.
Oh my God!
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek or two toes.
He's definitely gonna cry.
Did he almost cry after a loss?
He cried after his first season. I think when they went 0-2. It's just so hard. That puts a lot into it, man. And finally, Leroy, we circle back to the 1:00 slate. The New York Jets visit the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are 3-point favorites at home, and it has swung now that we know Joe Flacco is starting for the New York Jets, not Mike White. Does this game, Leroy, with the Dolphins still alive in the playoff picture, tickle thy fancy?
Yes, it does. It tickles my fancy.
Tickled.
I want to see these guys turn it around. I think they can. They have way too much talent. They're a little banged up, but you got to find a way. The score is going to be low because, scoring is going to be at a premium. And so it ain't going to be a whole bunch of 4th and 1s at the 5 where guys go for it. They're going to take the points. And so both of these teams have struggled offensively. So we'll see. And both of them, listen, the Jets are going to try to run the hell out of the football. You better go into that game thinking we're going to do everything we can to stop the run. And they're going to do the same thing here. They're going to come to the Dolphins and say, Skylar Thompson, you beat us. But we ain't going to let these running backs run all over us.
We'll take a quick break. That is Tickle My Fancy. Get some headlines. Get you caught up on the world of sports next. skate, 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 shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah. Cat talk time.
Got a new goal song? Is that?
I don't know. When's Kodak Black going back to a Panthers?
We need him. That's what we're missing.
Let's get to some hockey talk here, man, from our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a part of your play. Get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers. I got to be honest with you, I could use one right now. Feeling a little slothy on this Friday.
Want me to go find one?
Nah, I'll get it during the break.
Gotcha.
I might, I might go. I think there's a couple cold ones in the fridge. I might just go jack it. You know what? You guys aren't here anyway.
Yeah, they're not here.
I'll just swap because I think there's one that's I think there's like a guava strawberry one.
Ooh.
Swap that out for a grape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever notice when you have sodas or beverages or whatever, you always know what the heavy hitters are and which one's the second team by what's left.
Paul Maurice has revealed that Sergei Bobrovsky is in net tonight for the Panthers. So no, don't stop. I'm not gonna let you do that.
And we ain't talking about fourth quarter either,
dude. Stop holding up four fingers. Okay, you don't know that it's going to be 4 goals tonight.
Yeah, let me tell you this. You better hope that I don't do this.
Man, why can't you just come out with a positive attitude?
I had a positive attitude for 2 years.
Busy Sunday, by the way. You got Panthers, Dolphins, and Heat all playing on Sunday. Panthers play Sunday at 3:30. What an odd hockey game. Why would they do that?
3:30.
Let me ask you something. NHL.
Why would you play
Why would you do that
at the most critical time in the NFL?
That makes zero. Like, is anybody going? Like, I don't know. I went to a Dallas Stars game with Hockman and Crowder when we were there for the Errol Spence fight. Which, by the way, very weird that people wear cowboy hats at a hockey game. Strange. Anywho,
it's Texas.
I understand.
With cowboy hats everywhere.
Ugh, hate that building. And I don't think that they probably liked me. So I shouted as I came into this. Home of the Heat's first championship.
Yeah, they probably.
I don't think they like that.
Probably did not like that.
I don't think they like that. Anyway, 3:30, for a hockey game on Sunday.
No, 3:30 the final week of NFL season.
I know.
There's going to be 3 people that watch that.
Don't the Dallas Cowboys play at that same time too? The Cowboys play at 4.
Right.
Why would they do that?
Very strange.
Why would they do that?
So you got the end of the Dolphins game and like the middle of the Cowboys game. You got to be a diehard hockey fan, dude.
Yeah.
What you have to be is a hate football fan.
I hate football. Yeah. Maybe
right.
You're just,
that's it.
Maybe you're just out on football.
Do those demographics like cross over though? If you're like a diehard hockey fan, are you also?
There's plenty of Panthers fans that do love the NFL. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you're like, football sucks. Hockey's where it's at. If you're going to that 3:30 game, that's how you feel.
I mean, they got a guy who's like the most diehard Stars fan, and he's going to be there, not giving a rat's ass about the Cowboys.
So strange.
Yeah.
Especially there.
And you know what's amazing at these games? Throughout the whole arena, they will have the Cowboys game on. Right?
Probably.
Right. Like
Probably.
It's amazing.
So that's your weekend for the Panthers. You got the Red Wings tonight, 7:00, Bob and net. So you got Panthers and Red Wings at 7, Heat, Suns at 10. That's your set, and your weekend will be
10:00. Killing
Stars.
me. This West Coast is killing me.
Me too, dude. I made it. We're not doing the morning show anymore. I like having this. I like having that extra sleep.
I make it to halftime, and then I'm like, who am I kidding? It's January.
Let's get to some headlines. Brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
So, Tyreek Hill, he is doing the thing, Leroy.
What is the thing?
Pumping up that confidence, and I like it. Tyreek Hill, he said, I wish you guys could have stayed for the part of practice. I feel like practice right there was a lot of fun. We got a lot of good work with Skylar. He had guys flying around, catching passes, being deliberate, out of the huddle. Practice was great today. I'm really looking forward to Sunday and watching him play this game. He is doing the pump up this QB thing. I like it.
You know what's amazing? That dude has one of the most positive attitudes I've ever seen in a football player.
True.
No matter how bad things are, you always leave a conversation with Tyreek Hill going, you know what? Okay, I'll ride with him.
I believe anything he says.
Right.
He's like he's like football Don King. I'm fired up. I don't even know who these fighters are, but you got me.
Right.
You got me. I'm
That's
in. I'm
it.
in, Tyreek. Whatever you have to say, dude. I'm in.
But there's a lot of that going on throughout the facility, right? I just wish they were healthier, right? I think I'd be more angry if they were healthy in doing this. But when you see all of the things that they had to do to accommodate injured players, because I'll tell you, like I said earlier, Jalen Phillips and Christian Wilkins are having themselves a year.
Yep.
And those two guys have given you the pressure that you need. However, you've struggled in the secondary because you had bodies in and out all year. And so we say that the defense coordinator is going to be the low-hanging fruit in this. But don't we all have to sit back and say, okay, what he's had to deal with during the course of the year? Don't we have to consider that, or are we just somebody got to feel the wrath of not being successful?
Look. If you told me, even coming back next year, if you told me that, hey, we're riding with Boyer, we're bringing him back, I'd be like, okay, I understand. He had a lot of injuries. I just feel like we know how pro sports work. If they don't make the playoffs, it just reeks of what's the only move they're going to make. I know their special teams stinks, so they're going to get rid of the special teams coach. That's going to be the move.
Get rid of Jason Sanders.
Well, you know for a fact, and I don't blame him for this. Okay. You know for a fact that Mike McDaniel has in his pocket, I want to make a run with my guys.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely. It's a tale as old as time when it comes to coaches. When you're looking at, you're like, oh yeah, well, that guy was inherited.
Right.
Let me bring in my guy. Yeah, I get it.
But I will say this, and I don't know if I'm out of line here. I expected more out of Bradley Chubb. They gave him that big old contract. I thought he was just going to cause a ruckus. And in fact, old Chunky has done more than he has.
Chunky?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the AFC defensive
Talking
player
about
of the
Melvin
month?
Ingram?
Melvin Ingram.
I mean, you don't have to call him Chunky.
He is chunky. He is chunky.
Chunky. Just say
Well,
chunky.
when I see him play, I'm thinking, and maybe I need to go get a bowl of soup.
Yeah, I mean, we
Come
had a
on, man.
discussion. We were blaming it on his number earlier in the year. We said it's because he wore a single-digit number. I don't think so, dude. Because Chubb wears a single-digit number.
Let's get to a Dolphins injury report brought to you by UHealth. University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute experts treat athletes of all levels, elite pros, active adults, and youth athletes.
I could have called him
your
Clump.
game. Recover your game. Visit uhealthsportsmedicine.com.
Can we give him some of that elixir? So Buddy Love could come out? Buddy Love!
Why are you fat shaming Melvin Ingram?
What's up, Miss Purdy?
Teron Armstead did not practice yesterday. You're fat shaming.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying he hasn't been productive. I basically said I wish Bradley Chubb has been as productive as Melvin Ingram. That being said, he is built like a cinder block. What are you talking about?
Eric Fisher did not practice. I think they put him on IR yesterday. So big fish, good run.
Did he even play?
No. Kendall Lamb did not participate. Tua Tagovailoa did not participate, and Cedric Wilson did not participate. He's dealing with a hip injury. Teddy Bridgewater was limited with his finger. Bradley Chubb, he was limited. Xavier Howard, he was limited, so that's good news. Alec Ingold, limited. I saw, did he play with, what did he play with? 6 pins in his thumb? Yeesh. You should give him a warning from the beyond, Leroy. Be like, hey, Alec, ain't going to be doing much golfing, dude. Just letting you know. Raheem
Think about
Mostert.
all the surgeries I've had 5 hand surgeries.
Raheem Mostert, limited. Eric Rowe, he was limited with a quad. Jalen Waddle, he was limited with a shoulder injury. And that is your injury report.
All right.
Thursday.
Yo, Waddle, your legs work. Let's go. That's how football is, baby. That's how football is. You know, but I hope that they're healthy enough to not only just play but make an impact. We need, the Dolphins definitely need those guys at 75%. You know what I mean? They can do some stuff. So we'll see. Yeah. But they've been fighting this injury bug all year.
Buxton FinFan says, we're playing Joe Flacco. If we don't win, McDaniel has to go. Well, look, if that was brought up in the meeting where he goes, what do you think, Mr. Ross? Good season this year? He goes, dude, you lost to Flacco. You're gone.
Really? So, like, you think, hold on. Just let me get this straight.
Mm-hmm.
You think there is something that could happen in this game that would simply make you overlook all the things that have occurred this season? We always talk about who's the best team in the league.
Yep.
And a lot of times, what do we bring it back to? The healthiest team.
Sure.
Right? And so, like, yeah, I don't know, man.
This owner has done a lot of things I've been surprised by. Like, and especially, and it took the cake last year with Flores. Like, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not saying it should happen. But could I rule it out? Could you, if you told me on Monday, if we did a show and Adam Schefter, the Dolphins lose to the Jets, they end the season on a 6-game losing streak, and the tweet comes from Schefter, not that it does that when you tweet something, that Mike McDaniel has been let go, I would disagree with it, but I wouldn't be shocked. How could I be shocked after last year?
I would say this. I've said this to you. One of the signs of a bad organization is impatience. There's certain things in your organization you kind of have to see through. I think this is one of them. I think what Mike McDaniel has done, he's injected this franchise in this city with a mindset, with an attitude of how we're going to go about doing our thing. And early on when it was working, everybody was just excited about this team. Everybody's not like that. And so you risk, hiring somebody else and bringing somebody else in and then having the fan base and everybody go, oh, this guy. Whereas you have to tolerate him because he's winning. I don't think fans want that.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just letting you know my thoughts of it have changed after last year because I didn't think the previous coach deserved to get fired.
Yeah, but all the other stuff, it wasn't.
We didn't know about the but we didn't know about the other stuff.
Right.
And let me tell you something. When Mike McDaniel gets fired, this is the unfortunate truth about it, there'll be other stuff. They'll make up other stuff. They'll find other stuff.
All right.
If they do it. I don't think they will. I don't think they should.
Why are we even having a conversation of Mike
Salguero said everybody's on the line.
When as excited as we were about this season, like, what are we doing?
I just got it. It's out there. It's out there, dude. What do you want me to do? Ignore it? Want me to be an ostrich about it?
I'm ignoring it as nonsense.
I said it was a lie.
Lie. Yeah.
Liar!
I don't
You want Salguero to answer for his crimes?
At some point. Yeah, he's just hosing them down. Hosing down hot takes. Hot take.
You
gonna take any of that back? No.
We gotta go. I don't want to go to a courtroom. That
No,
was
we
just
don't gotta go to. But I say, look, you guys wear your fancy clothes. J Fig will come in like a black gown of some sort. We're going to court on Monday.
I don't want to be like on trial. Like,
You're going to.
Can I just settle out of court if Trevor Lawrence wins the division?
No,
Trevor Lawrence.
no,
What?
because you
Settle
know
out of
why?
court.
Because we offered you a plea deal. We offered you a plea deal for the last 4 weeks, and you said maybe, might, I don't know. We'll see. So you know what that means? You declined all settlements. Negotiations are over. Now is one of two things: answer for your crimes and answer for your crimes. That's your two choices now. You backed yourself into this corner. You did. Not J-Fig, not Marcos, not me. You wiggled your way back into the box.
Take a break. Back after this.
It's another Dolphins Friday.
pregunto si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra, ey. Pero no hay boda, Titi me preguntó si tengo muchas novias. Muchas novias, hoy tengo a una, mañana a otra. Me las voy a llevar a todas pa' un VIP, un VIP.
Ah, say cheese.
Say cheese.
It's not say cheese. It says say cheese.
Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
Jennifer.
Hello, Leroy and Brendan.
How are things?
Marcos.
How is your Friday going?
It's going pretty well. I don't know, kind of woke up sick again. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think something's going around. I had some of that going around the old Tobes household today. Or maybe it was just a case of the Fridays. Kids didn't want to go to school. I don't know. I was like, you always got to check with your kids. You're like, is he lying to me? Is he faking it?
I've done it.
Of course. We're watching this show now on Netflix, and like this, what's it called? It's like Jeannie in Georgia, I think it's called. So, and it's like, it's about some girl in high school, and she's skipping class all the time. Parent never checks in, willy-nilly, having ragers. I'm like, God, my kid is not that far from that age. And,
Are you watching that with your child or no?
No, I was watching with my wife.
Oh, okay.
No, my daughter watches like Big City Greens and the hell's that show?
Fonz watched.
No
You
idea
ever
what
heard
that
this
is.
show Kaleidoscope?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a show, and you can watch the episodes in any order.
That's cool.
So it's like an anthology.
What?
Isn't that what that is? Where it's like all standalone episodes?
Oh, no. This because that's like Black Mirror.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, this one there's a story.
You
but it just
literally can
depends.
watch it in any order.
It just changes the story depending on how you watch it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Kind of like
It's the name Kaleidoscope.
okay. All right.
Oh, so like it's called. That's what the type of show is called. It's called a kaleidoscope. But
No,
the show's name
the
is
show's
Kaleidoscope.
name is Kaleidoscope.
Schmeathan says, "Don't let someone watch Euphoria." Yeah, Euphoria is disturbing, dude. It is. This is like a PG-13 version of that.
They went to Fonz and Rebecca and Big Spoon went to see a movie, and they went and saw a movie about an AI dog.
AI dog.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it. I'll find out.
I'm very confused.
Sounded stupid, and my notion and my thoughts were confirmed. I'll find out the name of it. Somebody probably seen it. Can't be the only ridiculous people.
Also, I'm wearing a ball gown on Monday. What's going on?
He wants me to answer for my crimes, and for some reason, Marcos is confusing He's confusing a trial with a cocktail party.
I'll get it ready.
What's that thing that the judges wear? It's like a graduation gown. I don't know what it is. Like they're graduating every day. I don't know. Does anyone have a gavel? Look, we're focusing on the details. All right.
I have a drumstick and I have a choir dress. Does that work?
Boom. That works perfectly for me.
I used to have a gavel.
Oh,
when I was president of the fraternity.
Yeah, so there's no way you have the gavel still.
No, you have to pass up the gavel after you're done. Yeah, it's like a championship belt.
I'm surprised you haven't stole it. Yeah, that sounds like you. So next Monday you come in and you say, "I have the gavel."
So now you're the judge.
Having a gavel is fun. It is.
Yeah.
It is a power trip.
Mm-hmm.
Order.
Why do I imagine like you just carrying it for like normal activities? Like
I
deciding
bring it with me all through class. I think I didn't like what the professor was saying.
Wait.
Yeah.
You went to class?
Oh yeah. Well, I was a broadcast major, so I only had class once a week.
Your college life was so nice, wasn't it?
It was.
And me stressing over music theory.
I had to take all my classes before 1 o'clock. So every morning I was up at 8 o'clock.
Well, listen, we didn't have a football team. I was running the radio station by day, WBRY, going to class by night.
You go, boy.
Classes were 6 to 9.
Vigilante
Let me
right there.
tell you something about broadcast professors. They didn't always love doing the full 3 hours either.
Oh yeah. Did they replay lessons on the way out?
I mean, lessons. What are you doing?
Wow.
Come on.
You know what? I should have been a broadcast major.
I have a question.
You should have.
So this is a question for all of you guys. So you do these broadcast major,
Yeah.
you do the music or whatever, but then wherever you go get a job, you got to train to learn how to use their equipment.
Well, I didn't because I knew how to do everything. That was a big help for me because, like, I would say my foot in the door right away when I got to $7.90 the ticket at the time. I was like cutting up highlights day one because I used the same software that they did. I was doing Panthers games. Literally, I mean, they were probably like, this was back in the day. Listen, they pay part-timers here garbage anyway. But when back in the day when I was an intern, you got a little thing called nothing. And that was, they're like, hey, look at old cost us nothing here. Let's use him. I was producing Panthers games day one, cutting up highlights. One of my first days interning, Richard Zednick got the neck cut. That was crazy.
Oh, wow. My goodness. We were just talking about that in the chat on Twitch.
Yeah.
Because I told him the same thing that happened to Damar happened to a hockey player last year. And they actually interviewed him. Right? Mm-hmm. And he talked about like seeing just all that blood. Like it was like that was terrifying. Like, holy smokes. I never like just an accident on the ice where so much blood is on the ice.
My aunt was there. We were talking about it the other day, actually.
Your aunt was at the Richard Zednick game?
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'll never forget the screams from Moeller and Billy Lindsay when that happened. They were horrified. It was crazy.
Is that the most other than obviously Hamlin injury was just the way he fell, definitely shocking. To his hands, definitely shocking. You can think of like Theismann with his leg broken kind of thing.
Alex Smith
even. So a lot of these, but I think a slice to the neck though.
A slice to the neck was crazy.
Because the most jarring injury.
Because with all the other stuff, like with Joe Theismann, you could see his leg. It was disgusting. Right? But when you see blood, that much blood.
Yep.
Like there is no,
I'll tell you
how bad is it?
I'll tell you a crazy one. That a lot of people, it's not like as life threatening, but it was still pretty crazy. At the end of the season was Stanton taking the ball off the face.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
It sounded like he hit a home run.
That was really scary. And then the other thing was, the guy kept hitting guys, and then like the Marlins lost it on him. Like they were going to go whoop that guy's ass. I think the kid was local too. I think it was a kid from Deerfield who did it, where he hit Stanton in the face with that fastball. But that was a crazy one too. Really scary.
There's a couple that, if you remember, Dennis Bird, and then was it Mike Utley, or was it I know his last name was Utley. I'm not sure what his first name is, but
Chase Utley.
Chase Utley. There it is. He got he was paralyzed.
Whose dog's going nuts? Is that Zeus?
Yeah,
Luna.
That's Scooby, dude.
Yeah, because the guy's outside washing the car, and they
sure
hear
doesn't cut the line.
Stop it right now, dude. It's very touchy subject.
Did that really happen to you again, Jay? That's what happened to you, Jay Fig? Your neighbors? I thought that was a joke.
No, it happened to me.
That's hilarious.
My new neighbors got a lawn guy. They were cutting the grass, and they cut my wire.
It's AT&T's fault because they bury it a centimeter below the grass.
Is it, or is it the new neighbor's fault? Never happened with the old neighbors.
No, it never happened with the old neighbors. No.
Yeah. Nothing worse than a new neighbor that you learn about right off the bat. You know, like I had neighbors, never talked to them, loved it. You know, it was great. And then new neighbor comes along, and I know your name in like 3 seconds because you got issues with a tree near your yard. What a pain in the ass.
You're on my list.
When I first moved in, there was the Hurricane Ian. Was that it? And we were out of power for like 7-10 days, and it destroyed the gate. And the neighbor, the gate is his responsibility. He asked me if I wanted to split the cost to fix the gate. Jesus. But I didn't. It was $200. Like it wasn't like a, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, no bigs, right? Like we'll work on this. And just now, he came over and said, hey, I'm having the guy trim the hedges. I'll just have him keep going to trim your hedges too. I was like, very nice of you.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Good to see everybody could come together there. Beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing. We'll take a quick break. We'll play a little You Dead to Me. Coming up next.
Breaking news from AM 560 Sports.
You're dead to me.
All right. It's time to put some people in the grave.
You're dead to me.
Favorite Friday game.
You're dead to me.
Coming up in about an hour. Very excited for this. Going to talk to Jaron Boots Ennis.
Boots
on the ground.
Looked him up, man. 27 out of 29 wins, knockouts.
Just turned 25 years old.
That's impressive.
He is he's really good, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Stu might be better than both of them. He might be. I don't know. I may be putting a little pressure on him. But he is he's slick. He's good. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if either one of those guys are going to want to fight him because he's young, really good, and not as known.
You know, it kind of has the feeling of when Floyd Mayweather fought who did he fight early in his career? His only loss.
Jose Luis Castillo?
No. Who's the biggest fighter right now?
Oh, you're talking about Canelo.
Canelo. He fought Canelo when he was 12. And they wanted a rematch, and there was no way in hell Floyd was getting back in that ring with Canelo.
Oh, come on, Floyd, give me a rematch. I was a child. Oh,
Right.
Damage is done.
He said, nope. And that never happens, right? That never happens where a guy's only loss is to one guy and they don't fight again.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rare thing, but it's it was a smart move by Floyd because Canelo has been very popular for a very, very long time. By the way, it's the Dolphins Friday, which is brought to you by Gunther Mazda. You've got to get to Gunther Mazda in Fort Lauderdale during the Season of Inspiration sales event on 441, just north of I-595. You guys can visit them at GuntherMazda.com for car buying done your way. You've got to get to Gunther Mazda. A little piece of breaking news, but not surprising news, Leroy. Mike McDaniel announces that Skylar Thompson will indeed start on Sunday. So we got Skylar's the limit against Joe Flacco.
Don't lose.
Why are you looking at me like that, dude?
Because I'm just waiting for, you to do you.
I don't understand. Well, what does that mean?
You're gonna in an hour, dude. Don't lose. It's coming.
I mean, I already said don't lose. To the Packers, don't lose. I mean, it feels kind of pointless to say don't lose now. They haven't won for a month. Now I'm going to say don't lose.
A month and some.
A month plus. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, losing streak. You're dead to me. I don't want any more losses. I'm sick of it. Let's go. Bury the losses like Tony Sperano buried that football. Remember when he did that? Remember when Tony Sperano took over for the Raiders and he buried the football?
I also remember when the kicker chopped his foot off.
I do remember that too. What? Jack Del Rio had the stump in the locker room. He had a
chopping wood, literally chopping wood
on Romberg's old Jaguars teams. He put a stump with an axe in the locker room, and the kicker cut off his foot.
What?
Yep,
not cut it off, but
he sliced it.
Sliced it.
He got a little too cute.
Right. Here's my dead to me.
What?
Now,
you didn't believe us, did you? No. Thought this was fake Google? He's just learning this, Leroy.
What is
I am
Chop this foot.
very steadfast and very serious about a couple of things. And one of them is when players do shows and radio hosts attack them. I'm not a big fan of it. They don't normally get paid for it. And I've always had a problem with it. In fact, that's one of the reasons why, till this day, I don't like what's his name?
Jim Rome.
Because no, you don't. You have respect, right? So what transpired with Skip and with Shannon Sharp, I can understand this week them going at it and having a couple of discussions or whatever as to how one feels they should go about it. That's different. But when he attacked Shannon Sharp and tried to just minimize what that dude did on the football field. A Hall of Famer, I might add.
Yep.
And minimize and said he was jealous of Tom Brady. That ain't gonna fly with me. It ain't gonna never fly with me because you need to have some damn respect. And I say that, and I don't say it in any other way other than Skip needs to learn how to respect the people that he do the show with. He is not the end-all be-all of sports talk. And for that reason, along with all the other reasons, Skip Bayless, you're dead to me.
Wow. Not surprising, but also just to hear the words.
You're dead to me.
Bum.
Jennifer, who are you bearing? And it can't be that of a feathered kind.
Well, who am I bearing? Let's see. Whoever ran over the cable that was buried in my backyard. Well, my backyard / like whatever's in between my house and my neighbor's house. You're dead.
You're dead to me.
A fence? A property line?
Like, wait, J-Fig, you got to be more descriptive. We can't help you with your story. We weren't there.
Yeah, we didn't know.
I literally said whoever ran it over. Whoever
Oh,
cut
I
it.
thought you said the neighbor.
I said the neighbor's the neighbor's long guy or whoever it was. Yes.
All right.
You're dead.
Talking to you, Diego.
Yes,
Why?
Diego.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
No, I know her long guy. That's it.
It was actually Marcos. He did it.
It was.
Because
He
they don't
said,
pay him.
"Go
They
into
don't
the
pay him enough
studio."
here. He got a side job. He cut
Got a
grass
side
when he
job.
leave here.
Yep,
He got a young one on the
You're
way.
dead.
You got to be ready. You got to be prepared.
for sure.
Quick feet, dude.
Quick feet.
Quick feet.
Yep.
We ain't in water, dude.
There's a pool in my backyard. That's probably why he passed by there.
Puddle.
Puddle. What are you dancing in the puddle like ducks?
At what
By
age
the way,
do they start?
By the way,
At what age do they start eating flies?
can I have an additional one
Sure.
to the ducks that hang out on 136?
Oh, geez.
All right.
Stop sitting your ass in the middle of the street at night.
Don't give
That's
J-Fig,
why you keep getting clipped.
Don't get
Don't-
what?
don't give J-Fig locations. She might go and target them.
136.
The legends are
You're dead
true.
to me.
Bum.
They just sit in the middle of the street.
That happens at my house too.
You think all birds
Really?
gather on Halloween and say
Do
J-Fig's
they
name in the mirror?
know? They know whose house they sit in front of?
They know.
And they still sit there, huh?
They do. They like mocking me.
Oh,
You're
man.
dead to me.
All right, that is your dead to me.
All right, cool.
Beautiful.
You miss Marcos.
You miss Marcos.
Oh, yeah.
No,
What do you got?
no.
I'm sorry. What do you got? This is your segment.
Mine is easy, and you know what? I won't say you're part of the problem because things have been.
Me?
Nah, you're not. I was considering you part of the problem, but these past 2 days have been smooth. Although it was a little dicey this morning on Golden Glades. So all those returning to school and work are going to increase traffic for the first time since December 23rd. So now I'm going to have to go back to an hour to get here as opposed to the clean.
It has been
smooth
nice
drive.
this week. It
That's
has
true.
been.
It was nice
nice,
when I drove
man.
yesterday over there.
It really makes you appreciate things when you're not stuck in traffic for 2 hours a day. So those who will be causing me traffic next week, you're dead to me.
Preemptive dead.
Dead to
Wow.
You're dead to me.
Bum.
By the way, want
Can
to
I have an
update.
additional one?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
This is the
Wow.
third. What is it? Call you the executioner.
To the individual who scratched my car.
Oh, geez. Already?
In
No.
No.
And it in Publix.
It's
You know what?
long.
They're dead to me too.
This is revenge.
It's about 5 feet.
Damn. Was that like a shopping cart then? Or
I'm guessing.
oh no. That's such a nice color too. Like you can't just go and just like
No, he might have some extra. But yeah,
yeah, you know what? They're dead to me too.
You're dead.
Wow, they're my second dead to me too.
For sure.
You
Sorry,
waited
man.
a long time for that.
I waited a long time for this truck.
You're dead to me.
Bum.
And then some Yahoo in Publix just decide that they're gonna squeeze their fat ass with their shopping cart so they could hit a wheelie and hook it on the front bumper
probably the
of
deli
parking
lady.
lot.
with the
The
mac and
deli
cheese.
lady.
No,
Wow.
no, because guess what? I got to tell you this. I have never been into that Publix again where there wasn't an abundance of mac and cheese. So kudos, lesson learned. An AT&T employee. No, you know why? Because if an AT&T, hey, if it was AT&T, they would say we'll be there between January 21st and January 23rd to scratch your car. They wouldn't come right away because then I'd be like, y'all can come scratch my car right away, but you can't come dig a hole and bury my wire.
I got that message yesterday.
When are they coming to bury the wire?
Sometime between 2 weeks.
And by bury,
do you
I
not-
mean barely put under the ground.
Dear AT&T, do you not understand that if a wire got cut that was buried, the chance of it getting cut just willy-nilly in somebody's yard increases? You know what? Have your dad meet the AT&T guy. Just tell him, give him the look. Give him the look. They'll fix it. You know what? Send a picture. Just have your dad say, hey, I'm on the phone with AT&T. Just have him give the phone the look. They'll come out quicker. I know I would. If he stared at me, I'd come and fix it.
By the way,
That guy's terrifying. I don't even know why. Because he don't want to be terrifying. He just is.
I love your fear for my father.
He's so nice. He is so nice. But we sitting at that table. Mom's, she's lovely. And we sitting there. I just look at it, sipping on this little something. Just got that look. I'm saying, man, I don't even know. I'm terrified. I don't even know why. Just scared. He scares me. Plus, I know that he got bit by a shark and used to do all kind of crazy stuff. No, that means he is not to be played with.
It's not.
Schmeeth and Schmolnick says AT&T can't bury the wire under all the bird cadavers in Jason's yard.
For Witcher.
So he's saying you basically got a little pet cemetery going on back in your yard?
Right. Fossils.
You're dead to me.
We'll take a break, get you caught up with your headlines. Final hour of the show, the week coming up next.
Sim Simma, who got the keys to my bimmer? Who am I? The girls them sugar. How can I?
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take you up till 2. Boxing star Jaron Boots Ennis is going to join us before the end of today's program. Excited about tomorrow's pay-per-view. Tapped Out back tomorrow, by the way, on the BetQL network. I'll be doing that from 7 to 9 p.m. So if you guys can go check that out, all our Twitchers out there, if you guys go to BetQL's Twitch page, you guys can watch us live and also get that on the Odyssey app as well. Busy weekend up front. We got the Heat in action tonight. Let's get to some headlines here brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
They'll back on the hardwood tonight, taking on the Phoenix Suns, 10 o'clock, 8:45 preheat with Alejandro Solana, getting you ready for that action. The Miami Dolphins, they have announced today that Skylar Thompson is getting the start at quarterback. The Jets, some signs that this was coming, but Joe Flacco, he's going to get the start at QB for New York. So there you go. With everything on the line, this is what it comes down to. Skylar v. Flacco.
Wow, that's riveting football.
Yup.
Can't wait.
That's the primetime matchup we've all been waiting for. All these matchups this week. Everybody looking around saying, ooh, look at all this stuff on the line this week. Ooh. I don't know why I made the football fan so pervy.
What was
that? I don't know what that was. Pervy football fan who just likes playoffs and chance that Jacksonville could win the division. Yeah. Oh,
straight.
I don't know what
Is that Urban Meyer?
What are you doing in break?
It's like, look, and there could be a tiebreak scenario here. And coin flip for the division.
You know what's crazy? Speaking of the coin flip, what's coinciding with our losses is how often we've lost a coin flip. We won all the coin flips and we were winning a lot of games. We started losing.
Wasn't there a point this year where he was undefeated on the coin flip?
Undefeated. And you know what?
But you can only win the coin flip on the road, right? Like technically, because that's the only time you call it.
Yeah.
Is that how it counts? Or it's just strictly, you're talking about they've lost when they've lost the coin flip and they've won when they've won the coin flip in spite of who calls it.
I think they've lost every time.
That's amazing.
Because usually they defer to the second half. If they receive the ball first, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't know the stats on
No,
this.
that's usually, everybody defers.
So if they receive the ball first, then chances are they lost that coin toss. And we've lost a lot of games in a row. So that damn coin toss.
That coin toss, dude. What's up?
That's where it starts, dude.
Wasn't there a point where Chris Perkins asked Mike McDaniel this year about his coin toss strategy?
Yeah, he didn't want to reveal it. He was super secretive about it.
Might want to change it. I'm a tails never fails guy. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I switch it up.
You the same way, Stunt Steve? You go tails never fails? We can only see your thumb right now. It's the only thing. You can't lean over once. You can't scoot over one point in the couch to be a real person. Always. Tails never fails, dude.
Tails never fails.
Hey, did you vote for BAM?
Did you vote for BAM?
Oh,
really, Steve? Really?
-1, dude.
Yeah, that's a -1 for sure.
Come on.
I voted today.
-1.
I was late on a couple of those tickle my fancies. I was voting for BAM.
Yeah, all right. We got the BAMpaign off the ground, dude. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now, Chris Bosh is gonna redo this commercial for us.
Chris Bosh? Come on, man.
He needs to do that. We need him back.
We got Bubba.
Can
We
we
got
be in the
Bubba.
commercial with him?
I mean, I don't see why not.
We're
I mean,
pretty
let's-
convincing, I think.
Trying to make him say yes off the bat. I'm gonna badger him, dude. Let me tell you one thing about old Tobes. They call me the Badger. All right, I'm gonna badger this dude to help.
Who calls you that, man?
People. People call me that, dude. I'm telling you right now.
Dude,
I want you to start naming names.
we could literally do a whole show of just what they call me.
There's Cedric Wilson looks like he's gonna be out, so they're gonna need somebody else to return punts. And I'm just telling you right now, the Kangaroo's ready. If called upon, I'll nestle that thing right in my pouch.
Dude, can I tell you something? And I'm gonna say this, and I don't think that you understand. The single most terrifying job in football is punt returner.
Mm-hmm.
Because all other things you do in football, you have a general idea of where the people are, except punt return.
Leroy.
So the fact you think you gonna put your fat ass back there with a pouch,
Wow.
and think you ain't gonna get cleaned up.
Tell you what they call you. They call you the fat shamer. So you've been
I'm
doing
not.
that. Go at me. Go at Melvin.
I didn't call it Melvin. I said Melvin was thick.
You called him chunky.
Chunky, thick, same family.
Oh, it's not, dude.
You
No, it's
shame
not.
everybody. Weren't
Let me
you
tell you something
shaming
right now.
yesterday for the neck?
Respectfully, Shannon.
Wait a minute.
I know you had a great
I
career.
wasn't the only one.
I know
J-Pig.
I know you had a great career. Here's the thing. I got Metcalf on my side, and he told me that I know about reading the toes, dude. And I'm sorry, you said yesterday he's the best to ever do it. So if he tells me about reading the toes, then I'm on the right path.
CJ Fig, I did not do that. That was not me. Don't put that on me. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. That was not me.
It looks like Mike Glenn is probably not going to play, though, according to Mike McDaniel today. He says, quote, Teddy Bridgewater, I saw him throw initial baby steps throwing. I feel like he'll get there to be able to be the number 2 quarterback on Sunday.
Wait, so let me get this straight. In all his wisdom, Ivy League school, all that, he has determined that a dislocated finger on Friday will be significantly better on Sunday.
Said, dude. He also said, quote, Skyler has had an outstanding week of practice. Woo! Skyler's the limit, dude. He's back. Said he was diligent. What the hell is that word? Communicative. You go, boy. Communicative?
Millionarios.
He was diligent and communicative.
Millionarios.
From the onset,
Hey,
from the Millionarios onset.
Can I just say this? Why does it seem like at certain points in time, the English language kicks your ass?
Sometimes it does.
That
dude.
is your first language.
Communicative. Give you the year with their funny words. Why don't you just say he talks well?
Berry education, everybody.
Tua's out Sunday. Not surprising there. He does say that Xavier Howard and Bradley Chubb look like they are going to be ready to play. So that's good news.
Well, there's a difference in going to be ready to play and actually playing. I would like Bradley Chubb to play.
They look like they'll be
play.
They will be available.
I mean, play.
Armstead apparently is a game time decision.
He's been a game time decision for the last 5 years.
Totally fair. And that's about it.
All right.
That's about it as far as big news is concerned.
All right.
Asked if Tyreek Hill would be a returner. He said, quote, Tyreek Hill is definitely one of those options. Our plan is to do a thing that works.
Tyreek Hill works everywhere. Can we just say that? Can we just say that? Tyreek Hill is like comfort food. When you're hungry, you want something quick, you go to your go-to meal.
What do you think Tyreek Hill does eat? Like, like Chad Johnson famously has a bad diet. He loves McDonald's.
Because he's
like,
a skinny fella.
Like this, do you think like Tyreek Hill eats a carb? Like, what does he fuel himself on?
Says here a small antelope.
Point, you rascal. That's good. What else we got? Oh, so here's an update on the story we talked about yesterday. I feel as a journalist, I need to update when stories aren't what they were the day before. Dana White, his power slap league. Remember we read that story yesterday.
Oh yeah,
and that it was taken off the schedule.
They NBC backed out.
TBS backed out. That was the report yesterday. It was that they were going to back out. Well, apparently that is not the case. It says Dana White's Power League series is back on the TBS schedule, but they have pushed it a week. It was supposed to debut next week. It's now scheduled to debut the 18th. So it was supposed to be the 11th. They pushed it back a week.
Okay.
Are they buying themselves some time? I don't know, but it is apparently not killed.
We can't get Errol Spence and Crawford to fight. But we can get two dudes to sit on national TV and slap the hell out of each other.
That's right.
What is
the purse for power slap? Like, I want to know for Dana White. Like, he
12
already gets
$12. It's like the dude's gonna be crying like he did for bare knuckles.
right for BYB. Guys, like,
my car.
just
Thank you.
I gotta know for like because Dana White already gets crap about UFC fighter pay. What's power slap play? Like, what do you get? $500 for winning the title?
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I would say the champion gets $100,000.
What do you win if you win the cube? Like the grand prize in Dwayne Wade's game show. Isn't that like
I don't know because every time I watch the show, he's doing half of the stuff.
Is that still going on?
Yeah, I think it's coming back. I think the cube is coming back.
Hey, but isn't that every time I turn on that show, he's doing the stuff. Like you say, oh, you can have D Wade do it. You do it. And then those things don't seem that hard.
You win $50,000.
$50,000?
Yeah. So I guess a local. Oh no, it could possibly even more. A local couple apparently won $50,000, but it says here on the Cube, TBS.com, another chance at winning $250,000.
Looks like they got a lot of celebs this year, and by celebs I mean Shaq and Gabrielle Union. So D-Wade's just calling his friends for favorites.
All his friends, huh?
I like it. You want to get me to tune in?
$250,000.
All right, on this week's edition of The Cube, we have brought back Birdman. Chris Anderson on TBS.
I'd watch it.
I would watch it too.
Yeah,
I
bet for sure.
I'd so watch it.
Isn't it crazy? J-Fig has such a, I don't know.
Do you think Spo would do the Cube? Too much respect as a top 15 all-time coach.
I don't know, man. He's gonna use it somehow in basketball. So can I use this for my zone defense? I don't know. Just look at the way the cube lines up.
What if they have a play called the Cube, like to promote for D-Wade? It's like, hey, Spo, what do you think about?
Well, I tell you what, I'm tired of seeing.
Hmm.
You know what I'm tired of seeing?
They got him on Shumpert.
Teams trying that stupid Philly special.
Oh man,
it's a one-time deal. Everybody stop trying it. Remember, Tom Brady tried it. I just watched Michigan try it. I mean, enough.
Why is it always the intangibles trying that?
Because they just ain't gonna outrun nobody.
Got to use a trick play to get them a head start.
I know. I tell you what, though, Josh Allen is one of those dudes that even if you're there, so what? Because that's a big boy.
Shout out to Dolphin Kane. Cube is back on February 8th. Or January. Is it February or January 8th? It's already back this week.
It can't be the 8th. It ain't coming on Sunday, dude.
Yeah, it's
Are
not
you
coming back
crazy?
That seems like a bad day to debut.
You think?
That's what it says, though. It says
January 8th?
January 8th premiere. Yeah. January 15th, episode 2. 22nd, episode 3.
Oh, Sunday.
Huh.
Sunday game show. Couldn't find a better spot.
All right, so now I got to re-rank my order of things to watch on Sunday. So it's going to go.
No, let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you out. Your ass ain't watching the Cube. Stop. Like, don't even sit here and try to pretend. Don't even. This thing. I mean, I can't wait for Tobin to send the text. This game sucks. I'm gonna go watch the Cube.
I did like the Cube. I watched a couple episodes of the Cube.
I'm like, have you ever watched TV? It is the most frustrating TV. I've watched a couple of episodes of it, right? And it gets so close, and then I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch this.
You should go on the Cube.
No.
That's so fast.
See,
Why would you say no?
Can I just tell you why? And I mean this as an honest and loving person, right? Me and Big Spoon have a good thing going, right? I would hate it to come to an end over a game. And there's a number of situations where you play games and do stuff with your wife, and you just know we are not meant to do this. That's one of them. That's one of them. Like, I don't go, you know where I don't go with them? I don't go when they go to escape rooms. You know why?
No.
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Imagine you and Tobin in an escape room.
Oh my.
That's good content.
Actually, can we do that? That is like team building right there. I think that we should do that.
I think we should do an escape room.
You know why we can't do it? Because between the two of us, the two meatheads, we just start ripping stuff down. Like the door won't open. Hold up, I can get it. Like,
please, let's do that.
We'll take a quick break.
We're gonna do an escape room. Oh
my God. 15 minutes of heat is next.
Previously on
Tobin and Leroy.
Nah, dude, they call me the kangaroo. I'm gonna nestle that thing in my pouch.
When it comes off his foot, you have to watch the flight of the ball.
Broward Health, celebrating 85 years of service to our community. Then, now, forever. Broward Health.
All right, 15 minutes to eat for your ass right here on 560 WQAM. Heat back on the hardwood tonight, taking on the Phoenix Suns. We, of course, have that game for you here on 560 WQAM. Gets going at 10 o'clock. And looking forward to it, man. This makes or breaks the trip. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because
what?
It's true. It's hard to follow you sometimes.
I don't know what's hard to follow, man. Like, you know what? I'm just me, and I'm living this life, and I was upset, rightfully so, with what happened yesterday, but I'm okay now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're both 20-19 on the season. They got a big injury with Devin Booker that they got to deal with. Campaign out tonight. Cam Johnson out. Devin Booker out. They're banged
That's
up.
the worst team to play against. You know that.
I hate that. Hopefully Chris Paul, like, you know,
When everybody's hurt, it's the worst.
it's very frustrating.
Is Marcos throwing you off? He's having an own private conversation with Steven over there. His lips are moving, your lips are moving.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Share with the class.
I'm doing subtitles. I was doing like I was trying to make
That's words, dude. It's not talking.
No, Kung Fu movie. You ever seen a Kung Fu movie?
Mean words.
You know what? I was actually talking to Stunt and Steve about all the things they call Tobin.
You're a liar.
Nah, they call me the T-Man. They call me Office Depot because I'm the fax man, okay? You can just call me the lumberjack, dude, because I'm going to be cutting that floor. They call me old rhythm legs. That's what they say. Old toe sliders are, all right? They don't call me the slide man for nothing. You know what they call me? They call me the credit man. They call me the creditor, dude. They call me old shifty toes back in the day. I'm an honest guy. You know what they call me? They call me Honest Toes. Bro, they call me Sprinkles. Bro, they call me Sprinkles. I'm the take auditor. Just call me the tax man. Tax man Tobin. They call me Tip of the Cap Tobes. That's what they call me.
Tip of the Cap Tobes.
Rhythm feet or rhythm legs? What?
That's
Sprinkles?
You know what's amazing?
Sprinkles.
I don't think you realize how much you do this, dude. You're like, it's
only
like,
half of them.
wait,
too, to be honest.
that's only one verse. I remember some. I'm thinking
They
of
got
something
him-
left out.
Oh no, there's so much more.
What
that he
about
left
they
out.
call me the kangaroo? I just catch it with my pouch. Like
Why
He
did they call
he
me
calls
Sprinkles?
himself.
I don't know why they called you Sprinkles.
like it's.
I think that was
it
your
is-
stripper name. They said on the,
It's
on the
wait.
chat.
Sprinkles was a stripper. Dude, I honestly don't think you even realize how often you do it.
He calls himself Honest Tobes, but no one calls him any of those names.
No,
They should call me that.
no. Well, why? Because next week you're gonna change it.
Why were you called rhythm legs or feet?
I mean, that one's obvious.
No, please tell me.
Yeah, never mind.
Dude,
go, boy.
you are a piece of work. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it because for some reason, because we've done it and we've all been together so much, he just does it and thinks it just, no bigs.
Just flows, dude.
Nobody. You have more names than a prize fighter.
I am Apollo Creed.
You know how they had
Apollo Creed had like 9 nicknames.
You amateur. He is an amateur compared to all your fight names.
You can write a book, Tobin nicknames instead of baby names.
Yes.
And there you go.
Ethan says he's Apollo Feed.
Point for Twitcher.
Apollo Creed, these were his nicknames. The Dancing Destroyer, the King of Sting, the Count of Montefisto, the Thane of Pain, the Prince of Punch, the Master of Disaster, the one and only Apollo Creed.
And guess what? He is not even close.
I agree with Stunt and Steve. The Count of Monte Fisto is the best one.
I was just thinking that. I know you're next to be right at that, but I was just thinking
and he's not even close to the names that you've been given names for 6 years, dude. At least. Hard to say. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
It's not hard to say though.
It's not hard to say. It's like that. That's what he uses when he doesn't want to admit for a crime. I said, would you say? Hard to say. Hard to say. The worst.
But you got to give him some credit because normally I'm upset when the Heat don't get enough national exposure. But what they say about me is, I'm the fair man. All right, what's fair is fair. And so with Zach Lowe, he wrote a nice little write up on Bam and Tyler Hero. Like to hear some?
Yes,
Excellent.
fair man.
So the Heat are
fair man.
I think more likely it'd be the Carnival Barker. That'd be the kind of fair I was at. The Heat are 8-4 in the past 12 games. Adebayo and Hero have been stalwarts in keeping the Heat afloat while Jimmy Butler drifts in and out of the lineup with knee issues. Adebayo should make his second All-Star appearance, and Hero belongs in the conversation. Adebayo has bumped his scoring from 19.1 per game to 21.8, assuming more scoring burden this year, while never losing his touch as a role as a creative fulcrum. What the hell's a fulcrum? These smart people. What the hell's a fulcrum, Leroy?
A fulcrum.
Point and oh wait, no, that can't be it.
No,
A thing that plays a central or essential role in an activity, event, or situation.
That does sound like Bam. Good on you, Zach Lowe. Look at you knowing words. Words mean words. He is he is a defensive player of the year candidate and an all-court destroyer. Adebayo is averaging 9 isolations per 100 possession. Blah, 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 second spectrum. Boring. He's exceeding efficiency on post-ups. He looks steadier, facing up, and jab stepping into rhythm and lofting floaters. He does have a good floater, dude. Love a good floater.
And everybody thinks when he scores all his points barely in the paint. Like when you say, oh, most of his points come in the paint, you're thinking dunks and layups. No, dude, he's he's just inside the paint.
Well, he's been doing, see, that's the thing. I think he got more of that last year. He was doing a lot of jumpers. I've been like this run, he has been at the glass. Like that's been a good thing to see because he needs to be. He needs
a lot of fouls. He's getting a lot of
fouls. His free throw shooting's been awesome.
Awesome. He's at what 90? He's over 90%, isn't he?
I think he's close to that. Yeah. He's been really, really good. So it says the Heat reject all that talk that their title window is closed. Even if they're wrong, even if that's the real retool without a superstar trade, doing so around a Hero Adebayo foundation is not a bad place to start. There you go. Go check out the rest of Zach Lowe. I don't want to steal the whole article, but it was some cool stuff. It says 10 things I like, 10 things I don't. Luka Doncic's number 1 because he's killing everybody. Jesus.
What is he averaging? 40 and 13 the last 6 games?
Yeah, they lost last night though. I think Tatum had a triple-double, beat the Mavs.
Beat the snot out of them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think they had to bounce back after that embarrassment they had against OKC, you know?
It happens, dude. It happens. It's basketball.
Yeah. That's what I always say.
No, you don't. Oh, Honest Tobe at it again, huh?
Get out there and vote for Bam Adebayo for the All-Star game, all right? I'm not even saying I want him to start. I just want to show some damn respect. The fact that he's not top 10 is egregious. All right? The BAMpaign is on. We're out here. We're going to get Chris Bosh on our side. Chris Bosh is going to redo that used car salesman commercial, I think.
That's
making a lot
Solana?
of. Yeah, it's Solana. What do you got, a Barkov jersey? That looks good.
I like that blue.
The powder blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those jerseys.
Surprised you didn't go with Kachuk. Good to see you're still loyal.
I think it brings out his eyes personally.
Really?
You know who else's
Stop
eyes it brings
flirting
out?
with Solana.
What? I'm just saying.
You know who else's eyes it brings out? Radko Gudas. Sneaky handsome.
Yep. I think he looks like Jimmy.
Who?
Like not Jimmy Butler, Jimmy the producer here. Radko Gudas? Yeah. I mean,
like I said, sneaky handsome.
They just look alike. I'm just saying.
No, Jimmy looks like
He was
Jimmy.
saying Jimmy.
Jimmy looks like the dude from Green Lantern.
I never saw Green Lantern.
I will not dignify that with a response. This is
Stop
Jimmy.
it.
Let's
right
go
now.
dignify this. Let's go talk to Jaron Boots on the ground. That's not his full nickname. He's not like Apollo Creed. Just Jaron Boots Ennis. He's going to join the program coming up next.
Previously on
Tobin and Leroy.
Oh, I missed it. You didn't? Uh-oh.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Very Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. About to send your asses off to the weekend with some fun fight stuff. You guys know we love the fights here. I love boxing. And huge card coming up this weekend. But we have been, of course, getting ready for Dolphins and Jets. And it is a Dolphins Friday, which has been brought to you by Gunther Mazda. You've got to get to Gunther Mazda in Fort Lauderdale during the Season of Inspiration sales event on 441 just north of I-595, or visit them on GuntherMazda.com. For car buying done your way, you've got to get to Gunther Mazda. Skylar Thompson, he's getting the start today, we learned. We also learned that Joe Flacco is starting for the Jets. And Damar Hamlin, great news today as he had the breathing tube taken out of his and he FaceTimed with his teammates, and he told them he loves them. So the Bills are going to be absolutely, I'm sure, fired up going into this game against the Patriots, knowing that their teammate looks like he is on the mend fully and is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And everybody obviously scared this week from what happened on Monday Night Football, but great news. We got that right basically as the show started today. So that was tremendous to hear. Tonight, the Panthers, they're in action against the Detroit Red Wings. That's at 7 o'clock. That's on 96.5 HD2, Marcos. If you guys want to hear your Cats.
Indeed.
There you go. If you guys want to hear the Cats, then, of course, tonight, 10 o'clock, Heat and Suns. That you can hear on WQAM. 8:45 pregame show, pre-Heat with Alejandro Solana. A couple plugs before we get to Jaron Boots Ennis. I will be on Heat Weekly tomorrow. I think I'm on the 11:45 segment, but listen to the whole show. Tommy Ty does a fantastic job from 10 a.m. until noon, so you guys could hear Tommy Tig tomorrow, and then I will be on tomorrow for Tapped Out with my guy Sean Levine, and we'll get into all the MMA action as UFC's been on a bit of a break, but we got a huge boxing card tomorrow night that will get you your gambling ready for as Gervonta Davis steps back into the ring against Hector Luis Garcia, who is a good fighter, and has surprised, I think, some people with some of the wins that he picked up. He's undefeated too. Nice. He beat Chris Colbert this past year, who was a hot prospect for PBC. So this has the makings of potentially a really good fight. And then, of course, this sets up Gervonta Davis for Ryan Garcia later on in the year, which is going to be a super fight everyone's excited for. But also on this card is one of the brightest young stars in boxing. That is Jaron Boots Ennis. He is fighting for the interim IBF welterweight championship, which is basically he's fighting for the championship in case Errol Spence leaves the division. And Errol Spence may leave. He may go up in weight. He may fight Terrence Crawford. I don't know. We're going to talk to him about it, obviously, because he's kind of the third guy. Everybody is talking about Spence versus Crawford. Then you got Jaron Boots Ennis, who's kind of just hanging here, be like, who wants to fight me? This guy is from Philly, great lineage of fighting. And I'm telling you, has the potential to be one of the top boxers on all the planet. And so we got a chance to speak with him during this fight week. And here's our talk with Jaron Boots Ennis. All right, welcome back, everybody. Very excited to talk to our next guest. Simply one of the best fighters on the planet. You guys can come and catch him on Showtime pay-per-view this weekend. It is going to be a monster card with Gervonta Davis taking on Hector Luis Garcia. But this man is going to be headlining a lot of his own pay-per-views very, very shortly. Jaron Boots Ennis joining us here. He's taking on Karen Chikatsin coming on up. Boots, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
This feels like a monster card, man. Like, is it cool to be something like this? This is a lot of stacked names. It's Gervonta, it's you, it's Boo Boo Andre. Like, this is a who's who coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, it's definitely a great card. Like I said before, I'm just ready to shine, ready to rock and roll.
This has got to be exciting for you, man. And an interim championship on the line here. This really, cements yourself in the welterweights rankings, which everybody knew was going to happen. But what does it mean to have some gold on the line here?
It means a lot. It's extra motivation. For me to get this win and this knockout on Saturday night. I can't wait to have that IBF interim belt around my waist on Saturday night.
Is it hard being patient? When you're coming up through the ranks, because you got to fight a lot of fights to get to this point. You got to really show your talent. But at some point, does it become frustrating, or you just know that's the game?
No, I mean, it's not frustrating at all. That's what comes with the game, it comes with the business, and the key is to be patient. So that's what I got to do. I got to be patient, and let everything fall into place like how I was doing now.
John, what did it mean to you a couple months back World Series, they got you hyping up for the city of Philly. Like that was such a cool thing as a fight fan, and seeing that, you getting to represent your hometown. What did it mean to do something like that to you? Because I thought that was such a cool crossover to have you do that.
That was dope. It was a dope experience. To be doing a commercial for World Series and Game 5. It was fire. It was fun, something different to do. And I expect to do more things like that. I liked it. It was fun.
Like Philly, that's like you guys are a haven of boxing. What is it like? What does it mean to be like? I'm sure around town everybody recognizes you and things like that, but like to start being like the guy, the face of Philly boxing right now, is that an extra pressure? Is that an extra burden at all because of all the greats that have come through there?
No, there's no pressure. I feel like I've been here before. Well, I kind of had been here before because I had 2 older brothers that came up in this game, and they fought on Showtime plenty of times and ESPN and all over. So the TV always been around, the cameras always been around. So like I said before, this is nothing new to me. It felt great to to be able to put on and be the next one.
Do you lean on your brothers any as far as how to go about doing certain things, how to prepare, or just being around them, you just kind of picked up on?
Yeah, I definitely lean on our brothers, not lean on them, but they give me game and advice,
Right.
Different things like that. And yeah, they always tell me to stay ready, stay in the gym. You never know where you're going to get a call. That's why I always stay in the gym. So after I went on Saturday, be right back in the gym on Monday, training and helping my dad get ready, with the other fighters that he have fighting, next week and so on and so forth.
So no break, man? You're not going to allow yourself to like soak in? Like this is a big time show. You've gotten to the interim title. Like you're not going to allow any. So you're right back to work on Monday? That's the plan?
Yeah, I'm right back to work on Monday. The job not finished, in the words of Kobe.
Do you feel at all, Jaron, because like everybody is starting to recognize the talent and they know that you're one of the best fighters out there. Do you have any talks with family, any of that stuff, or do you keep this all the fame and all the stuff and all the recognition? Do you think that's going to be easy for you to hold in check just within yourself, or do you have like a family system? Like how do you feel you're going to handle all of that?
All this is regular to me. Like it's something I got used to already. The fans and everybody coming up to me, want extra pictures and signing autographs. It's nothing new to me now. I'm used to it, and I already adjusted to it already.
Talking to Jaron Boots, as you guys can go catch him on pay-per-view this weekend, taking on Karen Jacadson. You got Gervonta Davis, Hector Luis Garcia on that card as well. That is a monster pay-per-view coming on up. For you, Jaron, looking at this, you get this interim title. We all know, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. That's like, we don't know what the drama is going to be with that. How are you handling all that drama, by the way? Like, when the hell are they going to fight? Are you keeping yourself out of it? Are you intrigued by it as being, kind of the guy who's in waiting for them to finish their business?
They just holding up the line for real. And hopefully, they do fight. If they don't fight, they can fight me. And that's the goal, to fight Errol Spence. But, and the rest of the top guys that's up there, I'm like I said before, I'm not trying to go back. I'm trying to go forward. So give me them champions and give me whoever else is up there, If not, get out my way because y'all gonna get ran over.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're gonna get this interim? Like, do you feel like is Errol gonna stick around? He's not gonna stick around for you, dude. Like, I mean, like you're young, hungry, up and coming. Like, do you feel like Errol will actually want to stick around and make a matchup with you if the Terrence Crawford thing doesn't go through?
I definitely feel like he would, and I feel like most of the fans, they would rather see me and him fight than him and Bud. So it's like I feel like the fans want to see it and people want to make it happen. So, and I want to make it happen. So we can make it happen. Let's get it.
How do you go about though, like this performance, like going and your performance? Do you feel like you could do anything that will shake him to say, I don't want a piece of Jaron Ennis. He looks too good.
Well, my goal, every performance I have is to go in there and, and dominate and, it look better each and every time. So, I mean, he going to see what he going to see, but, hopefully that draw more attention to him to want to fight me,
One of the things I love is when the pressure builds. Like you've gotten yourself to the point where you're in that division and cannot be avoided. Mm-hmm. Right. And so whatever happens, whatever happens in the future, you're sitting there going, hey guys, what's up? We just gonna ignore this 600-pound elephant in the room. I'm waiting. And so is it frustrating that, you have a goal and your projections and what you feel, you've earned in this game. Is it frustrating that you have two other people that don't have their business together and is holding up, like you say, holding up the line, and really you kind of have to sit back and wait until they decide what the hell they're gonna do?
Like I said before, they is holding up the line, and it's not really frustrating. It's just like I said before, I just want to fight, and I don't care who it is.
Right.
Like I just want to fight and get my hands on them world titles. So that's the goal. So once I grab one, we're gonna collect the rest, and then go ahead and move up to 54 and do the same thing at 54.
Before we get you out of here, Jaron, you gotta imagine, you're a Philly guy, Eagles fan. Are you giving a lot of the Commanders, the Washington fans in there the business this week, like while you're walking around there?
Yeah, I'm rocking with the Eagles. Let's go Eagles.
Well, we're rocking with you, man. We're looking forward to the show coming up on Saturday.
Can't wait.
It's always a joy
Can't
watching
wait.
you in the ring, man. Thank you so much for giving us some time this fight week. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.